Hands-on training, real-world skills. High school students become job-ready, and Arizona businesses get the talent they need to thrive. Without a skilled workforce, Arizona can't grow. But with Pima JTED graduates, our entire economy prospers. Join the businesses already investing in Arizona's future. Learn more at PimaJTED.org. That's PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Hungry for something exciting? Then come experience what's new at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse with 2 Valley locations. No one does Asian-inspired cuisine better or more authentic than Kasai, where talented Teppan chefs create the food, the fire, and the fun of teppanyaki. Kasai Japanese Steakhouse, it isn't just dinner, it's dinnertainment. A memorable dining experience where a delicious 7-course meal is prepared right at your table with flair. It's the perfect choice for celebrations, date nights, or a night on the town. Choose from over 30 different items and combinations of teppanyaki, Asian fusion, and innovative sushi. Happy hour is always on fire with their daily specials. Try their new $12 bar menu items, Wagyu beef and Mongolian pork sliders, chicken or beef satay, and 3 delicious flavors of chicken karaage. 2025 is on fire at Kasai with 2 locations, Scottsdale Road and Thunderbird, and now open in Peoria at the 101 in Northern. Go to KasaiTeppan.com. That's KASAI Teppan.com or search Kasai on your mobile phone.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM. Your home for NFL primetime games. 1580, The Fanatics.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time.
Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's Friday here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Phil in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale on the last day of May 2025.
Really? Wow.
Well, at least the last show in May. Tomorrow's really the last day of May.
Day, yeah.
And then Sunday is the first day of June.
Remember, first day. What do you got to do on the first day, Jeffco?
Got to pay your damn rent. And listen, pay your rent tomorrow. Get the check in there tomorrow so they don't accuse you of being late on your rent because you didn't go in there for the 3 hours that they might be open. And then all of a sudden, bam, late fees. So get ahead of it. Make sure you put that, get that check in there for the man so you don't end up paying late fees. Don't give the man free money. Don't do that.
Yeah, you remember, we're trying to beat the man, not. I
don't think that's how Ric Flair said
be the man.
Damn the man. Damn the
man.
So, June, some things to look forward to. Of course, Stanley Cup Finals, that starts next Wednesday, and now we know who's in it. We'll talk about that in a little bit. NBA Finals, they get going next Thursday. Tennis, if you care about it, the French Open runs through June 8th. And then, of course, the U.S. Open for golf is June 12th through the 15th. So lots of sports going on in the month of June. Movies, do you like the movies? There's a John Wick movie that's coming.
John Wick film. It's an actual John
Wick.
He's in the movie.
Yeah,
for like a minute.
Yeah, he will be. Yeah, it's a John Wick adjacent film.
It's called Ballerina.
Hold me closer.
Yeah, I guess.
Hold me closer.
Yeah, shoot me in the face, Ty.
Shoot me closer.
Then, of course, the live action remake, because I guess we needed it, of How to Train Your Dragon. So you can take some kids to that, I suppose. Something from Pixar called Elio is coming out. I don't know what it is. Good.
Yeah.
Just chuck the kids in there, slam the door, and go have a beer. Brad Pitt racing movie F1 that comes out at the end of June, in case you care, and even if you don't.
He gets faster with age.
Then there's 28 Years Later and Megan 2.0. Those are the other movies.
28 Years Later has to be the last one in the franchise, right? Because otherwise, what does it become? 28 decades later? They've gone days, they've gone weeks, they've gone years.
Yeah,
decades,
it's going to be decades.
20, and then it'll be 28 generations, and then after that, 2,800. I don't know.
And Cillian Murphy will still be around to do it.
I think this is probably the final. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a final.
And you get to watch Phil Robertson die on Duck Dynasty.
Oh.
Evan. Oh no, I guess not. He's not featured in the new series, which is good because he was a
yeah.
kind of a piece of garbage human being anyway.
Yeah.
Well, he was.
He was
He
a total
was.
piece of garbage human being.
He was.
Now his duck has been goosed.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. As far as TV goes, if you like the Squid Game, they're doing another season of it, the last one.
I was going to say that the last one, yes, yeah.
Then The Bear, if you like to watch people scream at each other over a stove, The Bear is right there. Yes, chef. And then, I don't know, a bunch of damn award shows nobody cares about. As far as holidays go, the big one, Father's Day on the 15th, Juneteenth on the 19th, and of course it's Pride Month. And the first official day of summer is the 20th. But we've already, once it gets to 100 degrees here, that's the official start of summer, in which now we are kind of in it.
Yeah.
And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty much it. June is a standard June. You have a standard June on deck, ready to go. So, I wonder what car will show up on my calendar.
I don't know.
I got to be honest. I don't have much of a show for you today.
Okay.
Really?
Thanks for being here, everybody. Have a great weekend.
You like how I just promote? That's just, I don't know. It's probably not going to be great. I'll be honest. I mean, I just haven't prepared much, but who knows what might actually happen on this episode? You never know. I was busier than busy today. I was busier than an ugly chick trying to get money from strip dancing. I was dealing with the fantasy football stuff.
Yes.
I did get an email. Yeah.
Yeah. An earlier start than normal on making sure that everybody is playing and everybody's in place and that every league has exact right amount of people to play and making sure that everybody's happy. It's a lot of damn work when you got 14 leagues. So I'm getting everything ready. Now I got to move some people out of Premier League. I got to move some people into Premier League. And I'm still toying with the idea of starting a Champions League. But if you haven't checked your email today and you have been playing in the Daily Blender Fantasy Football Leagues, best check that email because here's the deal. I'm going to send off some flares. I'm going to let you guys know a couple more times. But by July 1st, if people have not responded to the emails and if you haven't responded to the postings on the fantasy football sites, you will be deleted. You will be deleted from those leagues so we can make room to bring new people in who want to play.
You have the power to do that. You are the great and powerful Oz.
Yes, I am the commissioner of everything.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, I can delete and I can undelete. I can do anything. Yes. I can do anything. Well, okay, not anything. There are some things that the NFL.com won't let me do.
There are a few.
If I weren't so damn tired, I'd move us all over to Sleeper. But I think we'll stay where we're at. It just seems exhausting. You know what I mean? I mean, during the season when we were like, oh, the draft was a nightmare. This sucks. We're getting out of here. I'm like, yeah. And now I'm like looking at all the work it would take. I'm like, maybe not. Maybe we'll just stay put.
Well, I think what you could automate half the work and just be like, look, instead of me having to keep you all here, you just email me. Like I will send out an email code, and anybody who wants to sign up for this league, let's start fresh. Let's start fresh up over at Sleeper. We may not have, regulated back in, just like, grandfathered in 14 leagues. Maybe we go back down to 12 just by some people forgetting to email. But hey,
Jeff, it sounds like you got an assistant commissioner here.
I feel like Phil wants to take over, and I'm happy to let him.
Yeah, just you know what? Yeah, go ahead and handle that. Phil.
Go ahead, Phil.
What a great idea. Can't wait until you have this accomplished. Go ahead.
Well, I was just saying, you are a beautiful, beautiful commissioner. I think you've got it. I've got enough trouble commissioning my own like little sect in my life.
Did he say he's commissioning forceps?
I don't know. What does that mean? Having sex. I don't understand what that even means.
Could see that. Yeah.
Last Optimist says, super excited. You're prepping the fantasy football leagues. Yeah, I know it gets a lot of people happy and excited and ready to go because that means we're just getting closer to the actual season of the NFL. And it's always a good time. It's always a good time playing fantasy football with everybody. Lost Toby says the next movie will be 28 fortnights later. Fortnight's like a couple of weeks, right? Isn't that what a fortnight is? Like 2 weeks?
I think it's technically, I don't know. I'd have to think.
That should have been a movie in between there somewhere. Or maybe 28 foreskins later. And that will be the porn version, because there's always a porn version. That's
A
it is the
fortnight
law.
is a period of 14 days.
I told you 2 weeks. That's
Yeah.
what I said.
Yeah, it's not bad.
So, anyways, yes, as I work through all this and try to get everybody situated and stuff, is there any requests? Is the stuff from last year you're like, I didn't care for that, or any changes you'd like to see?
I have a question just on how you're going to handle it, because this feels very much like the discussion players over in baseball had concerning Shohei Ohtani. How are you going to score Travis Hunter? Because depending on how you score him specifically, if he plays on both sides of the ball, he could either be far and away the number 1 overall pick, or he could be just a regular guy.
Easy, Phil.
Mhm.
This one's actually easy because we don't do individual defensive players in the Daily Blender Fantasy Football Leagues. You should know that. You've played there for years. We just have the defense of a team. Now, if Travis Hunter jumps out there and helps out and does stuff, the points just go to the team. So whatever he does on defense gets, handled by the team defense. Now, as far as what he does on offense, yes, you can draft him and have him as a wide receiver. And that's where the points will come from him independently. But as far as the defense goes, anything he does over there gets credited to the entire defense.
Even if he has a pick 6?
Even if he has a pick 6.
Wow.
Well, you get the points. The defense gets those points.
The defense gets
so
those
you
points.
still get those points if you have the defense. So if you really feel like he went to the Jaguars, right?
Yes, Jaguars.
If you feel like the Jaguars defense is just going to kill it this year because he's on there, you should get them. Handcuff that defense to Travis Hunter, or just grab it. Just grab it because you think he's going to go crazy. I wouldn't.
No,
I do not believe he will.
I don't think that he alone will be like I don't know, Darrelle Revis of like him alone makes it a pillar of defense in the NFL. No, I don't believe that. But I do think the value he provides is also part and parcel of why he was drafted number 2 overall. Like that, having him score on both sides of the ball is more of an opportunity cost, therefore giving you more chances. It'd be like when you drafted Tyreek Hill when he was a rookie, he was returning kicks. Now there was debate on whether or not him returning kicks and if he should get a touchdown returning kicks, whether or not that should be put into his offensive score as a player. And that was something that we all had to figure out as well. I'm just saying that this seems to be something of the new discussion. Again, this was very much a familiar discussion had with Shohei Ohtani.
If we had legacy, if we did the legacy leagues, if we did it where we used individual players for stuff, then yeah, we would have had to address that. So luckily, since we do everything simplistically, because first off, I'm running it, and also simplistically because too, a lot of damn dumb people in our leagues.
Guilty.
All of a sudden you're playing against Travis Hunter and you're like, I'm sorry, how come he has like 60 points against me and all he had was like 1 touchdown and 5 catches?
Right.
Well,
he will not get defensive points as a wide receiver.
Okay. That was my one ahead of time question that I also implore you, the listener, make sure that you ask specifically in any leagues that you have that aren't, of course, the Blender. We just discussed it, but any leagues that you may be entering that may make the difference on one of the many differences on how you draft and value Travis Hunter.
So Fish Tank is asking, who is the number 1 ranked player this year? He says, I feel very disconnected. Well, don't feel bad. I mean, it is still a little bit early to start figuring that out. But according to NFL.com, I'll give you the highlights. For quarterback, they're already saying that it's Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson. For running back, they're saying Saquon Barkley and Jahmyr Gibbs and Bijan Robinson, Derrick Henry trailing behind. For wide receiver, they're saying Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra, Top Ramen St. Brown. And I don't know where they don't have Travis Hunter. They do have him there. They have him. They've got him down a ways. So I guess they're not
Well, because
completely 100% sold on him yet.
because he's going to be a bit player on both sides of the ball. So really, his combined value is where you want him. As far as like directly on what Fish Tank asked, the number one overall player this year is going to be Jamar Chase, right there along Bijan Robinson, Saquon Barkley will
Yeah,
also
but I'm
be there.
giving you all the different positions.
No, you're
here.
absolutely correct.
But
But
number one pick, yeah, probably Jamar Chase.
Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson. The only thing that brings him down is JJ McCarthy being there. Otherwise, he probably would still be the consensus number one overall pick. But he's done it time and time again with other quarterbacks.
I'm not done yet. I got the tight end.
Oh, please.
Guess who the number one tight end? Trey McBride from the Arizona Cardinals. Trey McBride followed by Brock Bowers, George Kittle, Sam Laporta, Mark Andrews, and then Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce, it didn't have a great year last year. Everybody's saying, oh, he's going to kill it this year. That's basically Patrick Mahomes saying that. We shall see. And kicker, because I know that's important to you, Tyler Bass from Bills, followed by my old Gay kicker, Matt Gay, and I guess Brandon Aubrey, Chase McLaughlin, Jake Elliott. So there you go.
Yeah,
those are the best kickers. And as far as the highest ranked defense at this moment, it's the Philadelphia Eagles, followed by the Denver Broncos.
As well they should be.
And the Bills and the Ravens and the Chiefs. Chiefs.
When you talk, Chiefs, absolutely. Yeah, they have a stout defense.
Jeffrey. You know whose defense really did improve? And they're not even in the top 25. They're there. I'm sorry, I'm wrong. They're in the top 20. Arizona Cardinals. I feel like their defense really did take a leap forward.
Yeah.
Well, listen, they drafted that position well, and they had some good additions in free agency. I think that defense, I'm not saying they're a top 5. I'm just saying I feel like they're a top 10 defense.
I love that every time we mention the Cardinals on this show, when I look right at Phil and he has that.
I just smelled a fart face.
I just smelled a fart.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I don't trust a defense on a team that I believe is going to be in maybe the top 10 picking, maybe the top 5. I don't know.
You just don't trust a fart, Phil.
Yeah, absolutely. Trey McBride specifically, the reason why he's number 1 is that he had a top 3 tight end season while missing a few games. And most importantly, I think he only had 1 touchdown the entire season. Yeah, that's blackjack. Let me teach you a word here. Variance. He's going to get a few more touchdowns this year. And with that, coupled with the historic receiving season he had last year, that's what makes up a number 1 tight end. Absolutely.
But listen, you can't even get into the draft stuff yet. I think I need to go in and do a thing so people can start looking at mock drafts and stuff. I don't even know if the NFL.com is allowing mock drafts just yet. I don't know. I'll have to get in there and make sure I, tinker. I'll go tinker, maybe over the weekend. We can start checking stuff. Bruno Baller says, do you know which expert you've got this year to help us out on who to play week to week? Is it going to be the King or Rosalie Michaels? Well, I talked to Rosalie. She's got a very, very busy year ahead of her. So we are going to be once again imposing ourselves on Scott, the fantasy football king Engel. So we're going to get him back, we hope.
Scott Engel with the angle.
Mr. the King.
I don't think he wants you to do. Does he say that?
No,
I don't think he says that.
No, he doesn't. He said the King.
He probably prefer you didn't say that, Phil.
Fair enough.
Does he tell you to shut up a lot over on the Weekend Warriors?
No, he usually throws roses at my feet, adorns me with praise and adoration. It's a real, it gets really mushy gushy over there.
So you're just basically lying right now, right?
It could be.
Yeah. 888-368-1580. Fifth letter says, hey, Jeffco, shot you an email back right now. I'm in again. All right. You guys don't got to tell me here. I got a spreadsheet working, and I'm keeping track of everybody who wants to still play. And listen, I'm also not going to be cruel. I am going to go back and remind people, hey, come on, you got to tell me what's going on. Fish Tank says, also, is it lame to wear your own band's t-shirt? Because that's what I'm doing today.
No, that's promotion.
It's absolutely not lame. It's absolutely not lame. Why? If anybody's allowed to wear that band's t-shirt, it's the guy in the band. Other people wear the band's t-shirt and you're like, hey, are you in the band?
Especially as long as it's an actual band. Like it might be different if it was like Bruno Mars with his like Bruno Mars band. And it's maybe
it'd be weird if Bruno Mars himself. But if guy in Van Halen's wearing a Van Halen t-shirt, you're like, Yeah, that makes sense.
Absolutely.
Why wouldn't you wear the shirt? No, Fish Tank, don't worry about it. You're good. Hey, what do other people in other bands say? I'm curious what they think because I'll be happy to tell them they're wrong.
I think it depends on the genre of music upon which your band plays.
Randy, what do you think? You were a drummer.
Oh, hell yeah. Wear your own T-shirt, man.
Why not?
Wear it loud and proud, Jack.
Yeah. Who's going to promote you better than you, Fish Tank?
Right? Yeah.
If you're Phil Collins, you get a free pass to wear a Genesis T-shirt.
Well, I think Peter Gabriel still can too. I think he can.
Possible.
I don't think Phil Collins can put that shirt on without help these days.
Well, it's true.
Sad.
Yeah.
Hey, Fish Tank, you playing anywhere this weekend? If you want to, speaking of promotion, Light Sleeper is out there. You got to tell me so I can tell them. Listen, when we come back, let's talk about the hockey. Let's talk about the NBA. Let's talk about the hell is going on and what's going to happen this weekend. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Miss any part of the Daily Blender? Download the free podcast at 1580thefanatic.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
All right, so there we were, cruising through the new open-air zoo when I realized that the park was closing in like 15 minutes. That's when the afternoon took an exciting turn. Luckily, we were in my Nissan Rogue. With its powerful DC turbo engine, well, we had more than enough time to see all the animals. Whoa. And outrun a few.
Drive the Nissan Rogue. Now, Nissan offers 6 vehicles starting under $30,000 MSRP. Shop at your local Nissan store or at nissanusa.com. 2024 Nissan Altima, Kicks, Leaf, Rogue, Sentra, and Versa. All prices are manufacturer suggested retail price. Manufacturer suggested retail price excludes destination and handling charges, tax, title, license, and options. Dealer sets actual prices.
We know how you feel. There's nothing better than a fall afternoon, an order of wings and a nice cold brew, and football. This fall, the Fanatic is your source for high school, college, and NFL football action. The high school game of the week on Friday nights, top line NCAA action on Saturdays, and the NFL primetime games. When it comes to football, we have you covered. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Dave Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic, and Fish Tank has informed me that Light Sleeper, his band Light Sleeper, will be playing tomorrow at a place called Timeout Lounge, 7:30 p.m. in Tempe. He says we really weren't promoting that one as hard because we want next Friday, June 6th, to be the big one. And you can't expect folks to keep coming out every single week, So the 6th, we play at the Blues, Blooze, at 32nd Street and Cactus at 10 p.m. He says, I'll remind everybody on that one next week, but thank you for asking. So there you go. Light Sleeper is playing, this weekend and next weekend. Booger Wolf says, how are you pigeon toed, goose necking, skippy eating, triangle hat wearing, booty fish catching, canal swimming, chivalrous sticks doing?
Pretty good.
Great.
How about you?
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess okay. I'm a little tired. I'm a little tired. It's been busy. Busy. Fridays is the busiest day, I think we're all a little tired. Phil's tired.
Friday is a very busy day. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey,
there's all that drinking, and then there's all of that eating, and then there's all that napping, which we can't forget.
No.
And so there's all that. Yeah.
So about like that, Booger Wolf. About like that. I mean,
busy. Yeah.
Just busy. Just busy.
Hungry.
Hungry. Yeah. Kind of wish we were taking a nap right now.
Right?
That's not weird for like grown men to curl up together and have a nice nap on, say, on a radio station couch, is it?
No.
Not if it's very cold.
No, I can't see it being weird at all.
Yeah. I mean, we're not there to do that. I'm just saying.
I can start.
I could just pile on the couch right behind me here.
Yeah, we could still see you.
Oh, yeah.
So technically, you'd still be on the show.
Right?
All I got is a chair sitting behind me. Oh, well. So there you go, Booger Wolf. Happy. Glad you asked. Okay, here's what's happening. I don't know if you were paying attention or not, but last night, the Oilers have advanced to go to the Stanley Cup final. This really seems familiar. I'm not sure why, but the Stars got pretty well beat the hell up, and now the Oilers are going on to the Stanley Cup final against the Florida Panthers.
Yes.
Which sounds weird to say.
Well, that's because it's a exact duplicate of last year's Stanley Cup Finals.
No, I mean, I keep wanting to call them the Carolina Panthers.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I feel like they should have made the Carolina team the Panthers. And the Florida makes more sense because a hurricane hits them first.
So the Florida Hurricanes.
Yeah, they should have switched names. This doesn't seem right.
You're saying. Yeah, I agree with you.
It's a little bit annoying.
It is kind of annoying. If you ask me, I think we should get on the horn with the commissioner of the NHL and make this thing right.
I'm starting to get angry, to be honest. Starting to get angry about it.
I don't get too angry. It's Friday. You don't want to ruin your Friday.
Yeah. So football is like 99 days from being here.
Yeah.
We're at 98.
Because football would have got me out of what's happening to me.
What's happening to you?
Happening?
My wife says, hey, we need to go and have breakfast with my brother. And I'm like, that's cool. I love her brother-in-law. And he's like, we're going to go have breakfast. And then right after, we're going to Home Depot. I'm like, oh.
You don't like Home Depot?
Sure, when it's on my terms. Okay. Because when you go at Wife Point, all that is a to-do list about to happen.
Ruh-roh.
I don't mind doing some stuff, but then.
So what she got you lined up to do, Jeffco?
I don't know, but let's just it's the old saying. It's true. Hey, you don't got to tell me over and over and over and over and over again to do something. I'll get it done in 6 months.
Right.
You don't need to keep repeating it.
Mm.
But I don't know. I'm not sure. I should have listened. I guess I probably should have actually listened.
So what is the reason why you're going to Home Depot in the first place?
Well, that's why, because I didn't listen. I don't know.
I see.
Not sure.
But why did you go to Home Depot? Just kidding. It was a joke on me, not myself.
We haven't gone yet.
Hasn't gone to Home Depot yet, Phil. Can you stay with us, Phil?
Yeah, it's just a to-do list waiting to happen. That's all.
Yep.
should take-
Get up early, going to have breakfast with the brother,
Yeah.
and then head over to the Home Depot, which means she has a list. And
Yeah,
if she has a list,
I've been had.
Is the breakfast at least good? Like, where's the breakfast?
Oh,
gonna
we're
be?
gonna go over to the Nook over here in the East Valley.
Okay.
And it's a great place. It's changed names a couple different times, but the waitresses are all the same.
Is it
So
the
and
Nook,
the food is pretty much all the
cranny,
same, and the menu is all the same. But it's a good place to have breakfast, and that's like there's the bait, right? Hey, we're gonna go to breakfast. So I'm like, "Ah." And then it's like now I'm in the car, I'm trapped, and they're like, she's like, okay, go to Home Depot. Oh. So yeah,
You should bring the dogs. Home Depot's a dog-friendly place.
I can't take the dogs to this restaurant.
Well, swing back and then go back out.
If I go home, I ain't going out again.
That's true.
Fish Tank says, dudes, I'm about to go to the Home Depot at Fiance Point myself. New toilet seat, some lag bolts and wire to hang some giant ass mirror. Probably other things I'm forgetting. She's not forgetting. She will not forget.
No.
And she's with you. Don't worry about it. You don't need to remember. She's going to remember plenty for you.
She's got it. Yep. She's got it.
There's nothing more terrifying than the walk through the gardening department.
Yes.
And it's like, please don't let her find something she wants me to plant. Please don't let her find something she wants me to plant.
See, I have it well here because Miss Kim does 99.9% of the planting, and what she doesn't do, then I have the landscapers plant.
That's a pretty.
I have a
sweet
system.
setup. Yeah,
I have a system here. I don't plant anything.
We can't trust our landscaper to plant stuff because the last time we asked, they're like, hey, could you plant this bush over there? Oh yeah, sure. He ran out of soil, and so he dug some up out of our garden box. And so then, along with the bush, we had a giant watermelon growing there, strawberry coming out. All he did was just dig right in and took up a bunch of dirt and seeds. And it's like, who does that, man? So then,
apparently, your landscaper does.
We had to clear that out. But yeah, I mean, listen, I guess it's not that bad. I'm not doing any major projects.
No, I have a major project this weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah, Miss Kim's in the closet. Miss Kim has 2/3 of the closet, and one third of that is falling off the wall. So we've had to disassemble the clothes, get them out of the way, and I have to go tomorrow morning to the Home Depot myself.
Not Lowe's.
So you just got to get some bits
1x5s
to put that thing back up.
Yeah, 1x5s, deck screws, stuff like
fun.
that. Yeah, oh yeah.
That's a fun project there. That is not in any way horrible. No, that's not too bad at all. How about you, Phil?
No, I don't have to go to Home Depot this weekend. Although I could if I wanted.
Has she ever looked at you and been like, "I need you to do something," or she like? Nah, never mind.
See, that's the difference. Is you guys have your own homes. We have a guy. We have a guy for our apartment. Like,
I see. Yeah.
If ever we need it, that's not my opt-on.
See, Phil's got this thing worked out.
Yeah, I've got a system of my own, but it's more so like, okay, baby, and then I put it in a maintenance request because
you call the maintenance guy baby.
Yeah. Like we're on a first name basis.
Hey, baby, can you get over here and do a thing for me?
Yeah, absolutely.
Listen, baby, we've got a leaky faucet here in the apartment.
Although right now we've got a huge project that supersedes us of repainting all the apartments. There's a power wash component to it. So as somebody who sleeps in later, of course, they're doing all these during normal business hours, which makes sense, not according to Philip's life schedule. And so sleeping through a power wash, sleeping through somebody just berating your entire building with erroneous bangs, maybe like covering stuff with tape, maybe walking around the roof in order to prep stuff. It's been hells on bells, my goodness.
Well, good luck.
Thank you.
Good luck and have a good weekend.
I'll try.
Godspeed to you, Phil.
Moist One says, what time are you going to be at the Nook? Room for one more? Would you be able to spot me too? We're going to be there at 3 p.m. Fish Tank says, any project inside the house that isn't plumbing is an absolute win to me. Yeah, inside the house, right. It's the inside the house stuff I don't mind at all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, The outside stuff. Well, I had to plant some flowers and some planters that were up front. I thought I was going to die. I thought that was going to be the end of me right there.
It's already 100. Hit 100 today. My God.
Yeah, we should probably have a weather forecast. Did we already?
Maybe.
Do this?
No, we have not done this.
Let's see what we're up against this weekend.
Okay. Well, hang on. I'm stuck here. I've got something.
It's very misleading because it's cloudy out the window, but then you walk out, it's hot.
Clouds up in the sky, and there is a chance of rain on Sunday. Currently 100 degrees in the West Valley, 100 in downtown Phoenix. But hey, it's cool at 99 out in Scottsdale. Currently in Monkey's Eyebrow. Is it Kentucky? Monkey's Eyebrow, Kentucky? I believe that's what it is. It is 74 degrees. Looking like it's going to be nice actually this weekend. Calling for 80. They're calling for the 90s on Saturday. Sunday cooling off and a chance of rain, and then rain on Monday. 88 degrees for the high there. Currently, again, it's 100 degrees in the West Valley, 100 downtown Phoenix, 99 in the East Valley. Back to you, Jeff Cope.
Thank you, Randy. Taco Kenny says, I'm going to be a man. I'm going to finish installing a new motor in my refurbished 2003 Chevy Tahoe. But first, could I have a beer, please?
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Let's pour that
I
in.
love them old Tahoes. You put a new motor in it? Is that a used motor or a crate motor? What are you putting in that thing? You should also show us a picture. I'm kind of curious. Those Tahoes can be pretty badass. You know, you lift them up and you paint them up and make them cool. So that's awesome. Yeah, I need to have some air conditioning in my garage. That's a future project. Garage air conditioning.
Yeah, you head in there. It's amazing. I went in there. I went into my family's garage like 2 days ago, and this is like 5 a.m. 5 a.m. and they kept it closed all night as they're sleeping. I went in there to because it's on the way into the house. I opened it. It was like a vacuum of it was so well insulated that all the heat just. And I was blown away because
like backdraft.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, because it's one certain temperature outside, but inside it's been baking. Like it is just unreasonably, untenably hot if you do not have any sort of a conditioning unit out in your garage. It is a bake zone.
Last Optimist says, I was surprised to learn that the garden center is the top earnings profit department for Lowe's or Home Depot. Top earning in profit.
I'd imagine it's because how much I don't know. That actually is unique.
That is interesting
because I think everything else in there is parts as opposed to gardening. You're probably talking about kits. You're probably talking about upcharge as far as plants. I guess that can make sense, but it would not have been my first guess.
Well, everybody, so yeah, we're all a little bit tentative about trying to get into the weekend. I'm like, man, I'm already tired. Now I'm going to get more tired. Just makes me tired.
Well, but then you're off here very soon on vacation, aren't you?
No, it's going to be like a month. Unnamed texter says plants cost them pennies to buy. That's why they make so much profit. Well, yeah, he did say profit. Doesn't mean it's the biggest. Okay, I got you on that, unnamed texter.
That's fair.
Profit is everything. So anyways, what were we talking about? Oh, yeah, the Oilers. So between the Oilers and the Florida Panthers, who do we like? Because we want the Americans to win because we don't want Canada to have nice things while they're booing our national anthem.
Yeah, I got news for you.
Been 1.5 million years since the Canadians won a Stanley Cup.
I think it's not 1 million. It's in 93, I think.
So it's American. It's American Cup at this point.
Lord Stanley's Cup. No.
You're telling me it doesn't look good, Randy?
Well, right now, the Edmonton Oilers are the opening odds-on favorite to win.
Well, that figures.
Well, if we look at the past 4 times, the Stanley Cup have had a rematch in successive years. First 2 times it happened, it was Montreal Canadiens taking both of those first 2 occurrences, both against the St. Louis Blues and against the Bruins in 77 and 78. So Canadians took care of business in both occasions, both times that they had a rematch. However, in the last 2 occasions, when it was 83-84 New York Islanders versus our very own Edmonton Oilers that we're talking about right now, They split it. New York won the first series, and then Edmonton won the second one. And then, of course, in 2008, 2009, which people might remember more, is Red Wings versus Penguins in back-to-back years. Again, they split it. So this is going to be an interesting one. I think if I had to guess, when the Florida Panthers look dominant, they look far more dominant. Like Edmonton Oilers they're very methodical. Of course, they have the best player in hockey. They have it feels like a better, more well-rounded team than they did last year. I'm going to go with Florida and have no real rooting interest.
Yeah, I know. I don't care about Florida, but I don't want Canadians to win. It is a conflict. I'm not going to lie to you. That is a conflict. And I love how the Stars head coach at the end was like, well, I probably could have won this thing if I had a goalie. If our goalie wasn't such a piece of crap, I could have won this thing. It's really not my fault that the goalie sucks.
Yeah, DeBoer, the head coach of the Stars, pulled the goalie 7 minutes into the game after he let by a goal. He just like, we're not doing this, and he pulled him right out. So, I feel like that was uncalled for. He didn't even give him the opportunity.
Was it just the polling? It was in the press conference. He's just like, well, let's be obvious here. I think we know what's going on here.
Yeah. Well,
ooh, gee whiz. This news story just broke. Don't play.
Is that
the
breaking news?
No.
Okay, never mind.
I don't want to celebrate this breaking news.
All right.
A woman has accused New Orleans Pelicans forward Zion Williamson of rape in addition to sexual, physical, and emotional and financial abuse over their multi-year relationship.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's just hell hath no fury and it's not true, but yeah, I mean, you got to wait till all the facts come out, but keep in mind, this is a civil case. He has not been arrested, and it's a 12-page civil complaint and talking about stuff from 2020. So, take that,
Yeah, details are limited right now. It's about a relationship that lasted from 2018 to 2023. So there is a little bit of window of time here since the relationship ended in 2023. It's now coming out now. And that's something that on the part of Mr. Williamson's attorneys and everything have brought up, as well as saying that they are acquiring documents and everything to allege a countersuit. So we'll see how it shakes out. I always wait to kind of see how it shakes out before fully commenting.
Listen, there could be credibility to what she is saying.
Certainly.
But you also have to give him the benefit of the doubt because that's a 5-year relationship and it's been a couple of years since it's been over. And whatever has prompted her to be upset and angry and go after him in a civil court, and having never tried to come after him with the law, it does raise the eyebrow of credibility a little bit there. But again, I'm never going to victim shame, and I'm not going to automatically say, oh, Zion Williamson, rapist. Right. I mean, you got to let this stuff play out when it gets to be like this.
Yeah, you got to exercise caution.
It's not an automatic assumption in either direction. Just not the kind of story you want to see pop up on the headlines, Listen, we got to take a break. When we come back, we got a whole bunch more stuff to talk about. I mean, I hope so, because we got 2 hours and 20 minutes left of this garbage. So it's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Summer's here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can can save you thousands if you qualify. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
Arizona businesses need more skilled workers, and our students are the solution. At the Pima Joint Technical Education District, we build the talent Arizona businesses rely on. With cutting-edge programs in health and technology and hands-on career training, our 30,000 students will graduate ready for high-demand careers. JTED builds the future of Arizona's workforce. Learn how our students will bring excellence to your business at PimaJTED.org. This message is sponsored by Potoff Private Philanthropy.
Download the Fanatic app.
News, scores, social media updates, and more on your smartphone, on your tablet. The free Fanatic app, available at the Google Play Store or the App Store and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Steady Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. Last Optimist says, before you AC your garage, just pull all the drywall down, insulate the walls, then make sure you have 12 to 16 inches of insulation in the attic. A mini split works well as a do-it-yourself AC addition. Chill down the garage once that insulation is done.
Yeah,
okay,
but I mean,
I'll take things I will never do for 100, Alex.
I was just going to say, why are we talking about this? Did that come up in the last segment? Did I miss something?
Yeah, I was saying I want to get some air conditioning in my garage.
Oh,
so I can work on vehicles like Taco Kenny, who's putting a motor in his Tahoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I've been wanting an air conditioning in the garage for a while because I did a bunch of work that I bought my daughter this Jeep, and I had to get it all set up and ready for her last year.
Yeah,
and it was just miserable working in that garage during the summer.
God. Yeah.
So I've got cabinetries and stuff in there, and the other two walls in there are already, I know for a fact, they are insulated. So all I got to do is find a good spot to stick a mini split on the side, and bam, air conditioning.
Bammo.
Rambo blammo.
So I can work on my car. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says, I feel like checking out through the garden center is always the easiest way to go.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why people just grab stuff in there on the way out. So they feel like they have an excuse to. I don't even give half of a damn. I'll just walk out there with planks of wood and say, here we go. Let's check out. They're never going to say, where's your plant? They don't care.
Yeah,
they just don't care. Phil, you were telling me you had your gal had. By the way, Phil's girlfriend, lovely gal. But she says she does not like our show that much, Randy.
What?
Because we don't talk about how handsome Phil is.
What?
Yeah.
So she says she doesn't care for this show.
Huh.
It is probably her favorite trait about the Weekend Warriors.
That'd be about it, right?
Saturdays.
Ralph and Nigel talk about you as enduring, loving. He's such a handsome young man.
I feel like that would make me uncomfortable.
Tall, dark, and handsome, and wow, look at those lips. They're kissable lips. And
soft like
oh, how
pillows.
dreamy his eyes. They're
See, now I'm getting uncomfortable now.
See what I mean?
So
You see
are
what I'm
getting
talking about?
uncomfortable on my behalf?
See
no,
that?
just on my own behalf over here, having to listen
Yeah.
to this.
See that? That's what I'm. We don't do that here.
Yeah, we
Phil.
treat you like a man.
Yeah.
Just not even acknowledge my lips. Absolutely, I understand. No, but so she's.
I mean,
over
if they were cracked and bleeding, I'd be like, dude, your
Yeah.
lips are jacked up.
Yeah, bro, you need to put some Vaseline on those
If
babies.
you had a booger, I'd say, hey, Phil, you got one in the cave.
Yeah,
you
bat in
take
the
care
cave
of that.
there. Yeah,
That's funny.
Mhm.
I've never.
You know,
heard that.
pals don't let other pals go around with boogers hanging out of their
Yeah, I
nose.
mean, isn't it enough that we allow you to hang around with us and we joke around with you and have fun, treat you like our little brother?
I
Isn't
feel
that
like
enough?
That's enough. Yeah.
Absolutely. Hey, this is not my complaint. This is
Yeah.
just like professional athletes. Sometimes what the family says is not like necessarily views or collectives. You know,
This does not sit well with us.
We treat you with real respect.
Yeah.
in
This-
silence and consternation.
Your
Yeah, okay.
lady, that does not sit well with us about what she said.
Okay, I will relay the news. But one thing I do need to really relay to her is that this weekend we're going to go be test driving cars. Do you know why?
Ooh, that's so much fun.
Yeah, see, I'm kind of okay with it, especially now that they've added like
Uh-huh.
popcorn as like a necessity for each.
What
each,
place do you go to?
Every
Do they have
dealership, you know.
What?
Yeah.
I have test driven so many cars and never eaten the popcorn. You're there for cars, man.
Oh.
Don't waste time in the little lobby. Yeah, get out there with the cars.
Yeah.
When did
and
they
in the
start
morning-
having popcorn at the damn dealership?
And in the morning they got donuts. Oh,
What?
Randy?
Wait, what?
Yeah, they got free coffee all day.
Oh,
Randy, it is an
great way to go,
experience.
Phil. Now Randy's going to test drive cars every weekend.
I'm sorry, Miss Kim. I'm sorry you had plans this weekend for the shelving storage.
Hey, Kim, we're going to test drive cars.
Miss Kim, I'm so
They've
sorry.
got free donuts and popcorn
Yeah, they'll always hand you a water
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, and a
Mhm.
water and
Free
coffee.
water.
and free water.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So what was the question though?
So the question is that we have a bit of a disagreement. So she says she wants a new car. Okay. But the reason why, and it's exclusive to this one, like this is the main reason, and so I'm saying this is not necessarily a good reason to go get a new car. You know, I don't think it's like necessarily the right time. You can wait a little bit, and I
Did you
feel
say
it's
it's
just okay.
because your current car is a piece of crap?
No, my car. Yeah, no, she agrees. My car is a you know all but a grocery shopping cart. That's
Did that
pretty much
hurt
all
your
it is.
feelings?
No, no. I'm see. Here's the thing. I don't mind actually driving around a piece of crap
Mm-hmm.
because nobody wants to steal a piece of
True.
crap.
No, that's
Mhm.
true.
Like it's almost like camouflage. I sometimes enjoy just the deterioration of my car's appeal. Like I
Phil,
want to.
you don't need the Faraday couch, a pouch where you put the keys in so they can't steal. You know, they get
Yeah,
those antennas in the middle of the night, and all of
Yeah.
a sudden they drive away in your car. I've had to put a bunch of those Faraday pouches on the key thing. You don't need that.
I don't need. Yeah, see, I don't need to spend extra money on them fancy
Well, they're
schmancy
like
security.
they're like $10.
Absolutely. So her reason, like her loan, like what is the impetus for this? Is she says, just as we mentioned earlier, summer is coming. Summer is nearly here, and it is affecting her commute, like her commute to work, which is about a 30-minute drive there and back. And she wants a self-starting car that has car insulation, or what is it? A car ventilated seats. That is like a new thing. And
It's
I
not
said,
that new. I've got them. It's not that new.
okay, so it's not that new. But I'm still saying, like, that does not feel as a reason. Like, I need the car to be sputtering a little bit. I need the car to be like, oh, you know what? It's costing me an arm and a leg to keep up with the maintenance, all this stuff. And she's over here saying, like, no, I want a new car. I saved up a little bit for it, and I'm not saying no. Let
Do
me
you
let me
guys
get,
share a car?
no, we don't. It's her own car.
It's her car. Then she can do whatever she wants. None of your business.
Agreed. I'm not saying like I'm not putting my foot down or anything. She's just saying like, what would you do? And I'm like, I wouldn't do it just for a ventilated seat. I don't know.
Well, does she have problems with the air conditioning in her current car?
No, but she just says like it takes a while to cool down, and plus it's not self-starting, so she can't
How
start the whole.
old is her current car?
It's probably now about 8-ish.
It's not that old,
It's
but
not
still.
that old.
Here's the thing, Phil. You have to say yes. You have to be supportive because down the road, someday, let's say the relationship goes further and to a more serious place. You're going to want a car at some point, and if you oppose anything now, that will be remembered and used against you in a court of wife. So you definitely have to be supportive. But let me at least just say what I think. 8 years later on the car, and if she's she's got a job. It's not like she can't afford it. So, let her get her car. That's a good enough reason. Air conditioning is a good enough reason. Air conditioning is a good enough reason that I want to get rid of the vehicle I currently have.
Really?
Because the air conditioning is not great. And I'm upset about that. And it's like the one thing I need it to be is well air conditioned. And the little seat air conditioning thing, it's great when it works.
Yeah, how is
but it
that?
doesn't work every time.
So what? It just like all of a sudden, is it like a bidet of air? Like you just feel it like in the back?
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, you feel it on your tuchus.
Okay,
you feel it right there, and it's nice. It is nice when it's hot to not be sitting in a boiling hot seat. So I totally agree with her. If she can afford it.
Yeah. Again, we're not talking about me putting my foot down. I'm not like establishing like a
I still don't understand what the question is here.
The question is, do you think that it's a reasonable thing to just go off to go and want a new car when you're in love with your car? You think everything's, but just for the air conditioning and for ventilated seats.
Does she want to get the same version of the car she has now, but just newer?
Yeah.
Then yeah.
Okay. All right. It feels like a bit of a waste of funds, but okay.
Well, I mean. So listen, now there's two ways of going here, and I've done both. And the first thing, I used to have this awesome Jeep Cherokee, a 96 Jeep Cherokee. I love that thing. I drove it until the motor couldn't take it anymore. And I tried to replace the engine. Long story, didn't work out, but I loved that thing. And I am happy to drive and die on one vehicle. Now, after that one didn't work out, I have been through about a vehicle every couple of years. And it's just because I'm like, maybe I'd like that. What about this? And just trying to have fun. You need to enjoy the car you drive. And if you have the means and it's not gonna, hurt you, why not get a new car? Or see, here's the thing though. I wouldn't get a new car. I would get a late model used car, let somebody else eat the depreciation.
Right.
But I mean, I've had over the last 10 years, 3 new vehicles, even intermixed with that, just because I happen to be in the right situation to get a good deal. As long as you can get a good deal or you can get a good late model car that has everything you need, why not?
See, I think that's
have fun. You have to like what you drive, because especially if you commute every day, it bores away at your soul if it sucks to be in the vehicle you're in.
See, I think I'm more, and this is where it does boil down. I'm more in the camp of I will drive that thing until I'm essentially pulling it to its destination. Like I am more
There's no wrong answer.
Right. Randy, are you more of a upkeep or a new car as the model gets newer?
Am I more of a keeper? Or
yeah. Like, so will you run your car to the ground?
Oh yes, no, absolutely. I get every penny I can on that investment. Yeah, absolutely.
See, I have
a no
20.
wrong answer.
I have a 2011 car I'm still driving. Yeah.
Same.
And the air works, and the engine's nice and strong. The transmission's working. Gas, oil, and tires is all I do to that thing, and it just keeps going.
Now, understand, I find another vehicle that I love as much as I love my 96 Jeep Cherokee. I won't stray. I won't cheat on it.
Yeah.
I just haven't found that one yet.
All right, fair enough. Thank you. I appreciate the help. It feels like a discussion that now again we're getting to the seeing other people phase of seeing like the test drive.
I'm with Jeffrey though. If your lady wants a new car, let her her have a new car.
Happy girlfriend, and it probably doesn't rhyme, but it still fits.
Yeah.
Listen,
Oh yeah.
Hour 2 is up next. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance, and you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A-plus rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Center. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
Don't be fooled by the people you meet on social media. It may start as an innocent conversation, but anyone who tries to sell you pills is nothing more than a drug dealer. And if you think tiny pills can't do much harm, think again. Fentanyl can end it all. Know the truth about fentanyl at learnmoreaz.org. Don't be fooled. Don't be faked out. Visit learnmoreaz.org. Sponsored by Substance Awareness Coalition Leaders of Arizona.
Breaking news coming in from Bet365, and it's no surprise. Same game parlay from Bet365 just keeps getting better.
Well, it's even easier to make a bet. Choose from the most popular markets like hits, run line, totals, and home runs. So many to choose from.
Download the app, start building your bet, and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. T&Cs apply.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 4 o'clock here on the Daily Blender, and your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. We got Phil in the control room, and we got you guys on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And all right, so let's clean up the text line here. We've been talking cars, Ralph.
Cars?
Yeah, we've been talking cars.
Like what kind of cars?
Well, not so much about the kind of cars, but about the thought processes of buying a car and stuff like that. So Ralph,
I had the best car buying experience recently I can talk about. It was unbelievable.
Now, listen, we better get some money if you say who the dealer is.
Well, I'm not going to say the dealer, but I can say the brand of car. It's just, if you're an introvert, which a lot of people are nowadays, this was the most amazing experience in the world. You deal with nobody.
Well, who would you do it through then?
I bought a Tesla.
No, okay. So, wow, just really playing the part, aren't you? So
I wanted to experience electric car because I've never done it, and I never thought I ever would, and I'm actually really glad I did. But the experience of buying it is unbelievable.
Who'd you buy through?
Direct from Tesla.
Oh, you bought it direct?
It's brand new, yeah.
Oh, wow. They're just like almost giving them away, aren't they?
It was a good deal.
Yeah. And so now you've got the, is it a brand new one or it was?
Yeah, it's brand new. You know how you go to a car dealer, you spend the whole day there fighting with everybody?
Oh, I hate that. I hate that so much.
With Tesla, it's all done on an app. You literally go on this app and you set up the test drive. You go and take the car for half an hour. No one bothers you. You come back. You go online. You put financing together, you purchase it, you do the whole thing up to delivery, and then you go pick it up. You spend 5 minutes with somebody signing a paper, and you walk out. So you're done.
You can't negotiate.
I was going to say, did they set up an AI chat to just negotiate? And
There's no
tackle you?
negotiate. There's no negotiate. This is the price. This is what it goes for. It's brand new. I mean, it's just all of an app experience. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, I don't want a smarmy fight, but I think there's some times where I look at the price of a vehicle and I'm thinking, I think we could do better than that, and having absolutely no chance of negotiation.
Well, because you get the tax, you got the tax credits. They're dropping the prices for all the reasons of the last few months. I mean, it's a no-brainer.
I'm very confused by your girlfriend, Phil.
Oh, why is that?
She just texted in. She says, okay, fine. I'll keep my old car and get Pookie a new one. I heard you.
Oh, see, now here's the thing is that she does love to publicly bemoan things, but no, it's fine. It's fine. I told her time and time again, you do whatever you want. And when you ask my advice, this is my advice. I would say, wait a little bit.
Stop saying that. Stop saying you do whatever you want. Because that will haunt you in some years.
That's the dangerous. That's the dangerous.
At this point, you guys, you guys don't have a combined checkbook, so she can do whatever the hell she wants, and you can do whatever the hell you want.
Right.
And but you're right, Phil. If she asks you, you tell her. That's it.
Yeah, that's the thing. See, Ralph, we're seeing other cars this weekend. That's what it is. So
I thought you were going to say you're seeing other people.
No. Of course, that was the joke. No, we're seeing other cars, and so we're going to be taking test drives. I think around this weekend, if not, Monday, whatever. And her whole reason for wanting to take test drives and get a new car after only 6 to 8 years, I forget what it's fairly brand new, is because she wants ventilated seats.
Oh, the Tesla has those. Those are nice.
See,
yeah, I got them too, and it's it's great. And if it's a feature she really wants, then she should have it.
Yeah, and I was just like, I feel like I know. I was saying it's like a bidet of air for you. I was just wondering. I was like, I don't feel like that's a good enough reason, especially when I feel like cars I feel like are going to be going down in price here soon. So maybe we push off. I don't know. Either way,
who needs a reason?
I guess, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
that's her reason. That's a good reason. So, this little Tesla that you're rolling around, which one did you get?
I got a Model 3, so I just wanted to get in and try it.
Okay, so that is the entry level. So you don't try to race me; you'll lose. I mean, everyone in a Tesla thinks they can pull up on a Challenger, or they can pull up on a V8 and race them. And I'm like, you don't have the right kind of Tesla to do.
I'm going to let you drive this thing. It's 3.8 seconds, 0 to 60. It's unbelievable.
And I hear that the brakes are amazing.
Like, there's no brakes.
Tons of torque.
No, there's no brakes.
Yeah,
I mean, the pedal is the brake. It's really weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Jeffrey, you got to try this, Jeffrey. I will let you try it. 0 to 60, 3.8 seconds. That's unbelievable.
How do you slam on the brakes?
There's a brake there, but you never use it because it says regenerative braking.
Yeah, as soon as your foot is off the gas pedal, which is not.
It's not a gas pedal.
Yeah,
I ain't waiting for Elon Musk to brake for me.
And it has self-drive, which I tried the other day. Wow.
No.
It freaked me out a little bit. It was driving for me, and I'm like, this is a little weird.
Yeah,
can't do it. Nope.
It's a little weird.
That was the dirty secret, Jeffrey. He's going to let you drive, but he's really
driving
driving
on.
Well, think about it. For the listeners, if you go out and get drunk, like most of you probably do, you can have the car drive you home.
You can still get a DUI.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think
I'll sit in the driver's seat, passenger seat. He's driving.
You still will get a DUI for that.
Put a little stuffed animal in there. He's driving, not me.
I was so drunk, I didn't even know I wasn't driving.
It's really freaky, but I got to tell you, really good ride, really cool car. I was really surprised. I never thought I would see myself in one. I never really wanted one, but when you can get it, I mean, gas wise, there's no gas.
I just loved the whole turnaround on that. At first, when Biden was the one pushing all the green energy stuff, all the conservatives were like, nah, Biden trying to make us drive these electric cars. I'll never drive nothing but a V8. And then all of a sudden, Tesla, Elon Musk is like going around the White House, like, we can get rid of these, and we can get rid of these. And all of a sudden, he's a conservative, and everybody's like, yeah, Tesla's way to go. Well, it's like such a contradictory
That doesn't
thing.
apply to me, though. I'm in renewables.
Oh, no, you are very
I am in
much
renewables
not
for a living,
like
is
the
what
rest
I
of
do.
them.
Yeah, I mean,
You are not like the rest of them, Ralph.
conservatives hate solar. That's what I do for a living. I mean, Just saying.
Walter Mellon says, are we to assume in the seatbelt commercial that the same guys are wearing or not wearing their seatbelt? Or is the guy who got in the accident and passed away because he wasn't wearing a seatbelt? Or was the guy wearing a seatbelt in the first part? It's not a very good commercial is what I'm trying to tell you, says Walter Mellon.
Yeah, it's a
we're
story.
tired of it too.
It's a story. And apparently if you miss any section of that story, you're gone. You're out of the windshield. Just like
all you have to
one of
do
those
is
guys.
say click it or ticket.
Yeah. Yeah, they were really just trying to fill 30 seconds if we're all being honest. It was like one guy went home to Popeyes. The other guy went home from Boston Market.
Well, the guy who
One
went to Popeyes got stomach pumped. Bruno Baller says, is the Tesla named after the scientist inventor Nikola Tesla? Yes, and I'm sure he's not thrilled about it. Jonesy says, and now every liberal wants to get rid of their Teslas. LOL. Let's hold both sides accountable here. Oh, absolutely. A bunch of idiots who were out there spray painting electric cars and stuff because I hate Elon Musk. So stupid.
It is stupid.
Swave Dave says, Jeffrey, are you reverting to calling Walter Watermelon again? Did I do that?
I think you did.
I think it was close. I don't know if you.
The word melon was there, certainly.
Donnie is sobered up. Says, wife wants to upgrade the SUV to a van. What do we think about vans in 2025? Do they still make vans? Oh, you're talking about one of those. I know you're talking about those kinds of vans.
Like the
we call them
conversion
the
van?
Mormon mobiles now, the new Mormon mobiles.
I want a van with a bubble back window and the sofa in the back with the carpet. Remember those? The shag carpet?
Ralph likes bubble behinds on cars.
That was the shag. That wasn't a van. That was a shaggin' wagon.
You got to get on Classic Auto Trader for that one, Ralph.
Those are awesome.
The wagon's shaking. Don't come and knock.
Last Optimist says, reasons we have bought a new car. 1, needed to fit car seats for the kids.
Sure.
2, yearly maintenance costs more than a new car payment.
Yeah.
That can happen.
That's true.
See, that's my thing is, Ralph, like we're talking about like an amenity. I'm much more in the camp of you run it down to like I'm going Fred Flintstone there. I like, take out the base 4 and I'll start running it through. Like I am kill the car pretty much dead. But she's like, you know what? It's too hot in Arizona.
She's right.
I know. I agree. But I was just
air conditioning doesn't work or what?
Her air conditioning does work. She just wants that next, the
ventilation.
Yeah, the ventilation.
How long is her commute? Half an
commute,
hour?
No, it's around there. It's like 30 to 40.
She should have what she wants, be comfortable for all that time that she's going to spend in the vehicle, man.
Okay.
You could buy her a little fan and just attach it to the brake and have it blow up her skirt.
Well, hey, now.
Hey, now.
That's just like air. That's air seats right there.
Robert from Surprise says, I'd recommend a Chevy Tahoe, High Country Edition. She'd love it. Sports Girly says, so the consensus is ventilated seats are worth it. I mean,
I like it.
They're good. They're great. I've got them, and
good.
it's like, it's nice. I don't know if I would make my decision on a car based on that, but if that is a feature, there's features that I want. There's features that you want. Like, for instance, I decided to purchase a truck once, and I focused in on exactly that brand because it had an option of the 4-wheel drive that the other versions didn't have. And then, fast forward to now, I was talking to the wife. I said, remember how badly I wanted that one function for the 4-wheel drive? Yeah. We never used it. We never
That's
used
typical,
it.
though.
But if you know you're going to use those ventilated seats, by God, Sports Girly, go get you some ventilated seats. Bruno Baller says, is Walter Mellon married to Honeydew? 5-minute penalty for Bruno Baller. I'm skipping the 2-minute penalty, going right to the 5 because that's how bad that one was.
Yeah.
Sorry you all had to be here to see that. I'm sorry I had to be here to see that. Hey, Ralph, we were talking some hockey earlier. I just want to get your take. You got the Oilers and the Panthers. You got the Canadians versus the Americans. Any chance for the Panthers?
Oh, yeah. I mean, the Panthers beat the Oilers.
You've been
last
wrong
year.
about everything that has had to do with hockey.
I have not.
This entire postseason.
So if you listen to our show on Saturdays, you would hear that I predicted the Edmonton Oilers would win the cup. So that was my
That's
team.
not what people were saying. You said.
Ask Phil. Phil knows. Just go ahead.
Are we talking about Ralph predicting the Stars are going to win?
No.
See, that's what people are
Here
remembering.
we go. Phil, I hope she buys 2 cars. All right. So, no, I think this was last year's final. It went 7 games between these two guys. It was a great final.
Well, that's good.
They're both playing fantastic hockey right now. This could go 7 games again. It really could. I would like to see Edmonton win because I think they're the better team. But Florida is just sneaky good, man. They've been sneaky good for 3 straight years. They've been in the Cup for 3 years. That's a really good team.
Also, I think there is a small element to at some point, you do want to see the best player in whatever sport they are be able to achieve that crowning achievement.
Connor McDavid.
Yeah, Connor McDavid.
He's ridiculous. He's so good.
I mean, at some point you do want to see Nikola Jokic win a championship. At some point you do want to see LeBron James win a championship. At some point you do want to see. No, I know, but I'm saying like until they do, you're like, I do want to see it. I don't want them to go. I don't want them to be the next Dan Marino. I don't want them to be the next, whatever, fill in the blank.
I think Florida, what they're going to do is they're a very physical team. They get a lot of penalty minutes. They're going to just try to smack the crud out of Edmonton and take them out of their game. That's how you have to beat them.
Just got to get physical and set the tone.
Yeah, and they're going to try that, and it might work. It worked a little last year, so we'll see how it goes. But Edmonton is just very good. But I'm telling you, Florida, they're that team that all of a sudden in the playoffs they start playing some great hockey. And they've made it to the Cup in the last 3 years. So
well, this
last
is a replay of last season. There was no reason to have an NHL season because now the exact same teams are back again.
Well, no, that's not true. And the cool thing was when they won the conference, it was last night, I think, they touched the championship trophy, which hockey teams don't do.
What do you mean they touched the championship trophy?
So that, they have the conference championship trophies.
Yeah.
The Edmonton Oilers actually touched it last night. You don't, as in a hockey superstitious, you don't ever touch it.
Why did they do that?
Well, because their point was we didn't touch it last year and we lost. We're going to break tradition, and they grabbed it and they held it up. That's what they did, though. They said that Connor McDavid grabbed it, held it. He didn't care. He's like, we're going to be against it. All the fans in the stadium, they all freaked out. It was hilarious to watch.
Really?
Yeah, they were all like, "Oh my gosh,
did they boo?
Touched it?" No, they were just like, "Oh my gosh, he touched it."
Wow, that was a mistake.
That
it could show if they lose again, everybody's going to point to that. They're going to point.
They
to
will
that.
in Edmonton.
If they lose in 4 or something, like they'll be like,
they get swept all of a sudden. All their sticks break on the ice.
Yeah. Listen. You want to mess around in football or baseball or basketball with certain things, okay? But when it comes to hockey, no.
I've never seen a team touch that trophy.
You don't tempt the hockey gods. You just don't do that. That's
they did it.
Stunning. Well, I guess we'll see how it plays out for them. 888-368-1580. Fish Tank says maybe Phil's gal should listen to Sports and Friends instead. Yeah, she thinks that's what. In the Fish Tank's fiance thinks that's what we call our show.
Oh yes, I see. Yes,
Sports and Friends.
Yes.
What?
Yeah.
Listen, I have alternative names for all the shows we watch. Like I can't remember what the name of the show. He says, "Hey, we're gonna watch Tattoo Girl tonight," and that was that. Remember that girl was
Kat
all
Von D?
No, she was all naked and tattooed up in the bag.
Yeah, what show was that?
And it was on NBC. I can't remember what it's called. I just always called it Tattoo Girl.
I don't know that.
I have those kinds of names for pretty much all the shows.
I heard about a movie called.
How about this one? Dead Idiots on an Airplane. When's that on? I know you think it's
Dead
Lost.
Idiots on an Airplane.
Dead Idiots.
Is
on an
that the
airplane.
one where they no,
Manifest? It was Manifest. That was what that was with the people who's like the plane was gone for a while. And
I watched that whole series. Yeah.
I watched almost, and I'm like, I can't do it anymore.
It got stupid.
Yeah, it was really dumb. So I have little alternate names for all the shows. Blind Spot. That was the Tattoo Girl one. Thank you, Moise.
Blind Spot. Never heard of it.
I don't know why they called it that. But yeah, this girl just all naked and tattooed up, and all the mysteries are solved from the tattoos.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, that sounds horrible. I would hate to go home and watch any of that. That's
there was one really annoying episode where they realized at the end they're like, oh crap, that's a stretch mark. Forget it. Never mind. You can't. This is an unsolved mystery.
It's not a tattoo. That's a stretch mark.
Yeah. Well, we thought we figured this out. Well, that was embarrassing.
Wow.
Sorry. Hefty Lefty says Florida is going to try their best to break Edmonton's hymen.
Yep.
Oh,
that's very true.
Yep, that's true.
Very true.
Also, I was
Forget
saying this: Florida seems very much more so dominant in like their wins in their series. Like they win, they blow you out, man. Like they will blow you out and just completely just assert their will. As opposed to Edmonton, they are much more game savvy.
I mean, both teams 1-5.
No, I'm not even saying in just their champion. I'm even saying on their plight to the cup. It just felt like Florida was left and right just demolishing people, as opposed to Edmonton had a few series.
I mean, Edmonton, I think, played better teams the
Sure.
West was a lot stronger, and
Sure.
Edmonton, I mean, beat three really good teams to get to the Cup. I mean,
It's
Dallas
that
was on
same
fire.
old West versus East domination sort of conversation. And until you actually see these teams play each other, you don't know yet. You don't know.
This will be a great World Cup, a great Stanley Cup to watch, I think. 7
Well,
games.
here's hoping. But your record so far shows it'll be a 4-game blowout.
Well, maybe because they touched the trophy, but other than that, I mean,
Shouldn't have touched the trophy.
Yeah.
You just don't touch the trophy.
Don't touch the trophy.
I'm just saying. Also, don't kiss the trophy. You're going to get herpes. I am pretty sure.
Well,
At the
yeah.
very least, herpes. What do they call them? Complex 1. A bunch of people with herpes complex 1 because they're like, oh, the trophy, and then this other guy kissed it, and he's got a filthy mouth. You know what I'm saying? And everybody's sitting there. You see them all with a bunch of Blistex the next day, like, I don't know what happened. It's just weird. You got two? You too? Oh my god! Yeah. Moist one says, I thought the Oilers already lost their Hyman. Is this a player we're talking about?
Yes, it is.
Okay, good, because I just didn't want.
I thought he was back. I thought he returned last night.
Did he get bloodied?
No, no.
Just curious. It's a rough sport, hockey.
I thought he scored a goal last night, didn't he?
I don't remember. Look.
Hold on.
Was he a goalie? Because I feel like everybody scores.
No, he's not a.
No, he's not a goalie. Thought he was.
His name
defenseman.
didn't show up on my my sheet here, so
Yeah, I don't think he's back.
Maybe not.
Connor McDavid, his name showed up on.
Yeah, well, it should. He's the best player in hockey.
Yeah. Best player from Scottsdale, right?
No.
Who's the kid from Scottsdale?
No, Connor McDavid is all Canadian all the time. Yeah.
Oh, to hell with him.
Austin Matthews is the guy from Scottsdale.
The Hyman is out for the season. That's
Uh-huh.
right. That Austin Matthews kid. All right.
Yeah, Austin Matthews. He's in the
he's-
Toronto Maple Leafs.
He's no Connor McDavid.
No.
Moist one says Hyman just had surgery.
To close it up.
Well,
Yeah,
then
you gotta just-
who showed up
Rejuvenate.
last night? They came off the injury list. It wasn't Hyman.
I don't know, man.
It was Herman.
When did they start playing again? Thursday? Didn't I say Thursday?
I think it is. Unlike the NBA, they just start playing again, where the NBA waits a week.
Yeah, the NBA's got to have at least a week off in between championship games.
Yeah, and Randy hates how there is like 3 days in between each game.
Yeah, but come on, man. Come on. You make how many millions a year? And you got to have 3 days in between championship games? Give me a break.
I love, Ralph, Phil, I
Soft
noticed a long
serve.
time ago.
Soft serve.
They're both like, they're pointing to their wrist like it's time, like I don't know it's time to go.
We're making it worse than you think.
No, I'm just enjoying you guys looking stupid. So I figured I'll just let you guys keep pointing at your wrists.
Soft serve. I tell you.
Well, if Randy's yelling soft serve, worse than we're going to
3 days in between games. Give me a break.
When it's back wall to wall coverage of Hyman talk, that's when I feel like we need to break the Hyman.
We're talking 3 days in between games, not traveling back and forth. Just 3 days in between games.
I want to print up a sign. I needed somebody to print this up. Big sign for the studio that says, "We do this not because it is easy, but because we thought it would be easy." And that's I think we should just have that up on the wall. Somebody get that done. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll come back and we'll talk about the NBA stuff. That's right. The New York Knicks stayed alive. Let's see how much longer they can stay alive. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
The Daily Blender is streamed live on YouTube. Search 1580 The Fanatic to watch.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call Select Quote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Texting enrolls you into reoccurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone. I went through it a while back. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again, at work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text. Text both to 42424 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast, absolutely free. Text BOTH to 42424. That's both to 42424.
Products and statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or illness.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
My name is Mary Grace. I lost my mom to Alzheimer's in 2017. 2 months after losing her, my dad was diagnosed. The earlier the diagnosis you have, the more time you have with your loved one. With my dad, now that I know what's coming, I'm able to create memories not only for him, but for myself. So when he can't remember, I'll remember for him.
For more information, contact us at alz.org or through the 24/7 helpline at 800-272-3900. Sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
The Rich Eisen Show.
The NFL announced there's a new award at the NFL Honors this season called Protector of the Year. So the George Washington of this award, Deion Dawkins.
It's a cool deal. It's a cool deal to really put thoughts in the air and then grab it and put it on paper. It's been a long time coming, but we got it done. Protector of the Year award is here. And now all the big boys around the world have something to look up to and go after as they, work out and play football.
The Rich Eisen Show. Weekdays at 9 a.m. on 1580, The Fanatic.
Hey, Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic. We have absolutely nothing going on this weekend.
What?
Absolutely nothing.
That's not true.
Why? What's going on this weekend on
Weekend
1580
Warriors
The
at
Fanatic?
10 a.m. tomorrow, man.
Oh, I meant like play-by-play.
Well, we're kind of like play-by-play.
Diamondbacks
You're
are
nothing like play-by-play.
Yeah, we always play-by-play what Neil's doing.
Oh, I see.
that is moment by moment interactive action, right?
A study in Asperger's. Yeah. Okay.
Study.
By the way, speaking of Neil, Ralph, as you know, we are preparing the fantasy football leagues, trying to get everybody where they're supposed to be and move the champions that are moving up to the Premier League up and the
my
people that
trophy.
are going out down. Yes, and making Ralph his trophy for his Premier League win. But here's the thing. We have Neil still sitting there, and we're going to have to delete him unless he does something, because I think that he violated
every rule
of fantasy football, and he has angered the fantasy football gods by dumping his entire roster right before the playoffs. And that is just unforgivable.
He needs to atone for his sins.
I feel like that we should find a path for him, to find his way back, but there has to be some sort of just massive humiliation or something. He needs to atone. He needs to pay for that transgression, and I'm open to
pay
ideas.
for his sins. Yeah,
I think we should bring him to the draft party. And
Oh,
we should,
dear,
like,
no,
tar
no.
and feather him, or do
Well,
something. There.
I'm listening. Yeah,
Maybe have Moist One sit next to him. I don't know what it is.
hold his
but
hand throughout the entire show.
Something should
Exactly.
have to happen. Like
Yeah.
that. I think it'd be a good idea.
I am open to ideas of punishment. Normally, you're trying to think of a good punishment for the guy who plays the worst in the fantasy football league. But in this case, we're looking for a way for him to find his way back in, because if there's nothing, we just can't allow him to continue.
Yeah.
It has to be a pound of flesh.
Jeez.
At least a pound.
At least a pound. Yeah. I mean, I agree. You can't do something like that. Was pretty dumb.
Does anybody have any good ideas? I mean, Moist one even says, no, he's not my type. Not going to hold hands with him.
When he says no to somebody.
Maybe not tar and feather, but what about this? We buy a bunch of cans of marshmallow fluff.
Mhm.
We dip them in said pool, like little kiddie pool.
So we have to get a kiddie pool filled with marshmallow fluff.
He, one side, other side, and then we just all get a chance to throw Rice Krispies at him, and he becomes a Rice Krispie treat.
God, I feel like that's just a waste of food. I'd rather not waste food.
And he becomes tasty at that point.
Well,
Does he though? Does he really?
I mean, I think it would. I like.
I'll tell you, he'll have
I
about
like
half less
Krispies.
body hair by the time he's done with that.
Well, he has no body hair now. I mean,
well, how do you know?
I know a lot of things.
Yeah. Okay. Well, you do drive a Tesla now. Anyway.
Oh my gosh. So I spend $30 a month on gas, and you have spent how much?
But I'm rich. Anyway, so.
But I'm rich.
I'm ready to hear some legitimate and logistically possible ideas on how. I think should we have him carry a sign around downtown Phoenix?
Like Bruce Jacobs did.
Yeah, why not?
Shave an eyebrow.
Oh, we did that once. Sort of. No, it's a long story. Somebody weaseled out. But anyway, yeah, shaving an eyebrow is always a good one. But I think Neil needs that eyebrow for professional things, doesn't he?
Yeah, I think he does.
Yeah.
That's too bad.
We should open it up to the fourth dimension. What do they want to see?
Yeah. Let us know. Hefty Lefty says punishment for Neil should be having to take a kicker in the second round. No, it should be the first round. But here's the thing.
Oh.
He's so bad at fantasy football, he probably would take a kicker in the first round.
Yeah.
And not realize he'd been punished.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you really want to punish him, what he'll do is he'll be forced to buy 2 Dodger tickets for Arizona Diamondbacks and Dodger tickets, and be forced to not go to the game while me and Ralph have just a fun time enjoying that game.
I don't feel like that does much for the fantasy football gods.
No, but it does a lot for me and Phil.
Yeah, I mean,
I see what you're doing.
And plus, he gets deprived of what otherwise would be a chance for him to see his beloved Dodgers.
Again, the football gods aren't feeling it.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're not feeling it. Bruno Baller says college baseball's in postseason, and some of those games can be quite entertaining. Thank you, Bruno Baller, for being on topic. The Berg says, Neil, don't do this. Yeah, somebody should have said that to him.
Yeah, that might have been an email.
I did after he did it. And
I was legit mad when I saw that.
Yeah, you contacted me, and I
was
looked at him and I go,
pissed.
what did you do? And he's like, what? I didn't know.
First words out of my mouth on the phone when talk to your boy.
He honestly didn't know. He was a newbie, so.
Oh, I'll say he's a newbie.
It was, it wasn't intentional.
He's not the first person who's done it.
No?
But I was just like, man, that was a competitive league too. You know what I mean?
It was.
What a mess. That's a huge mess for me, because then I got to say, nobody take these players. Everybody takes those players. Yeah, all right, everybody, now I got to go in there and pull them away from people and try to fix it. It's a mess. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you heard, but Loretta Swit died. Hot Lips Houlihan.
Oh, wow.
She had it coming. She had it coming.
Stop. How old is she?
She's dead now. She was 80 something. 85.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that hula stopped a while ago.
Yeah. She was on MASH, so
that hula stopped.
That
Voice one
hula
says
stopped some time ago. Okay.
Make Neil do the Waffle House challenge. 24 hours in a Waffle House. One waffle shaves off 1 hour.
Actually, a challenge he might enjoy that I just recently heard was the 9 and 9 challenge. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
So you go to a baseball game, and for during each inning, you get 1 beer and 1 hot dog, and you have to finish one each inning. That goes on throughout the rest of the game.
So by the end, you're full and drunk.
Yeah. By the end, in the
That's
middle,
too much for Neil.
Yeah.
I think he'd be done after the first beer. At least seems like a guy who would be.
I don't know much of. He's not much of a beer. He's more of a hard alcohol.
Yeah, he's more hard alcohol. I don't know if he's beer.
He's more of a whiskey drinker, I think.
Jonesy says, bake him a cake with the most disgusting ingredients imaginable and then make him eat it. I don't know. That's
Then I got to bake. Who's baking that?
Well, we need to come up with something. We only have 90 days. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's coming fast, isn't it?
Yeah, in 90 days till we do a draft.
Wow.
I'm guessing it's about 90 days. So
we're gonna do it on the holiday weekend again.
I don't know. Well, we haven't done it on a holiday weekend yet. I keep wanting to do it the very last possible Saturday, but I keep getting whiny people going, or the client's like, well, we don't want to do it that day. We want to do it this day. And I'm like, okay, money, because I'm a whore. So
hopefully we actually promote the draft this time.
The holiday of Labor Day is on September 1st. So I would want to do the draft on September 30th or September 6th. I think that, no.
August 30th.
No, September 4th, I think, is when the first game is, isn't it? Somebody look that up. When's the very, very first game of the season? I think it's September. If it's September 4th, then we have to do it by the 30th.
Yeah, September 4th, Dallas at Philadelphia.
Okay, so it's either Labor Day weekend or the weekend before. I keep wanting to do it the Labor Day weekend, but then we keep getting set back to doing it the weekend before. So we will let you know whatever the people who are hosting us have to say about it. Moist One says, also, I got an email from you about relegation. I do believe there's been a mistake. No, Moist One, it's no mistake.
You've dripped your way down to a lesser league.
And I'm sorry, but it's
wow.
You were 8th in the league. You were in 8th place. And so that means that you and 3 other people are going down the driveway.
That's crazy. He's always been the top guy.
He's won it twice. But this season, if you go and you look at the history, and it will show you the season there. And hold on, I'm trying to bring it up on my screen here so I can tell you. But no, sorry, Moist One, you were in 8th place. And unfortunately, that means you have been relegated.
Am I allowed to let one person survive because I was a champion so I can give them pardon?
Give them immunity.
Can I pardon one person?
Well,
can you pardon
whether it be a host or a fourth dimension? I should be able to
no, the only way that works is if we throw you out.
Well, that's not fair. I was gonna pardon you, and now I don't want to.
Well, he might have pardoned himself.
Damn.
So the 4 lowest listeners, it was Moist One was in 8th place, Pinocchio in 9th place. The Berg, who'd been in the Premier League longer than anybody else, was in 11th place,
wow.
And Sweaty Pants was in 12th. So those 4 teams got go. So Sports Girly says, how about we do a roast of Neil during the draft? Make it a whole event. You only roast the ones you love. So probably not going to do that.
Wow.
Beer Nut says, I've been in the league for League 12 for 3 years, and I won last year. Do I ever move up? Okay. Again, understand, here's the thing. We only have 4 in and 4 out. So 4 people have left and 4 people will come in. So your question is, well, how do you move up? You have to be a dominant champion, not just a champion. And yes, Beer Nuts, you had a great season. You were 8-6, and your total points over the season were 1,904. But Dicker's Nuts in League 10 had 1,932. And then Fecal Mist had 2,012, and he had a record of 10-4. Fighting Wampa had 2,039 and 12-2 record. And Blue Magic had a 1,904 and a 12-2 record. So there's a lot of different factors that we use to decide. It's never easy, but sorry, Beer Nuts. Yes, you got money and you have respect, but there is another thing that we were talking about doing that. Okay, let me run it by you, Beer Nuts. We're thinking like where we have everybody in the Premier League. So the 4 best of the best move up Premier League. We're also thinking of having a Champions League for all the other champions, and then they play in that league too. So, would you think that'd be cool? I don't know. A lot of people just like to stay in the league that they were at, because they had a lot of fun with the people they played with.
Yeah, at that point, you'd have to have Oh no! At that point, you could have a regular Champions League. Yeah, yeah.
But then we're pulling good players out of all those other leagues. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
But then they get replaced, so I don't know. I mean, it's an idea I've been kicking around. If we're going to do it, I'm going to have to implement it pretty damn quick.
What about Scott the King?
What about him?
Mr. the King to you, Jack.
I talked to him today. So, I mean, is he going to play in our league?
No, we should put him in the Champions League.
That'd be interesting.
Because he's the kind of guy who'll come into our league and then he'll win it every year. And that's no fun for us.
Well, yeah, I like him. I like him in the Champions League. That's a really good idea. This way he could play against the listeners.
Yeah. Let me send an email out to the all the champions that didn't move up. Yeah, Moist one's not happy. He's like it's always been 3 listeners before. It's 4 listeners now. Yes, we made some changes and moves to where more listeners could be a part of it. There's only 4 people in host positions now. There used to be 5. And there's only 4 host positions, and there's 8 listener positions. So it's 4 in and 4 out. He says, I would not lose to Mr. the King. Put him in my league. Well, you're going to have to win your way back because he'll be in the Champions League.
There's more than 4 hosts.
No, there's not.
You got Phil.
Phil's not in the Premier League. He's in League 5. Yeah, he's in League 5.
Yeah.
Is he bad at fantasy?
No,
Phil?
no. I just the problem with my particular league is it's got great personality. Like during the draft,
has great personality.
Yeah, we are an uproarious, we are a rambunctious group during draft talk. Like it is just it gets down and dirty in those games.
Yeah,
but once you get past the initial draft, and dare I say, once you get past the first 3 rounds, it is a ghost town. Good luck trying to get a trade. Good luck trying to communicate with anybody else.
Well, I mean, Donnie won that league last year.
Yeah. Good riddance.
Oh, Donnie won something. That's good.
Well, Donnie's not leaving your league. He didn't have a high enough point total to make it up to the Premier League. So if he goes to the Champions League,
he cheated in our matchup. So no worries.
He did what?
He cheated in our matchup.
How did he cheat?
He put in a random guy and then he happened to go off. So it's just off.
That's not cheating.
That's not he put in a random guy.
Yeah, it was like the random week that I don't even. It was like the random week that Christian Watson wasn't injured, and then he just put him in, and then all of a sudden, bam, 70 points against me. Well, I guess I'm dead.
He put in Christian Watson, and he won.
And he won our matchup, which was pivotal. Each and every game was pivotal.
I'll be damned.
That's what you're supposed to do, Phil.
It was awful.
Cheating
just
bastard.
Yeah, it's not cheating. That's just good play.
Just off.
It pains me to say it, but yes, you got bested by Donnie.
Sorry, man.
He might have put in Anthony Edwards on the starting lineup that week. I mean, it was off. Just off.
Oh boy.
Yeah, it's always tough when you got to listen. The one that's the toughest. I mean, it's weird to see Moistone leave Premier League when he was so dominant, but the Berg has just been able to just be right at the line or higher. And he's been there for, I believe, 8 years. I think that's the longest anybody's been in the Premier League. And now I got to send him someplace else to play. So, it's not easy, but that's the way it works. Everybody, you got to win. Baker's Cocky Him says, I'll join as a champ 2 years ago if you need any extras. I don't know. I think they'll just keep that a 10-team league, and we'll see. I don't know.
Have you ever thought about expanding the Premier League? Like that's the one league that's like,
dude, that league is already expanded to 12 teams, which is way too many for fantasy football.
No, that's standard, Jeffrey.
12 is too many. 10 is just right.
No, 10 is over diluted. Like it is. There's far too many players. Nobody has a bad team. You need to at least have give somebody the chance to have a bad team.
Listen, it's a challenge either way. If you have 8 teams, it's a challenge either way. No, I think 10 is the sweet spot. 12 is the limit. I don't think a 14-team league would be any fun.
I disagree respectfully.
But it's the same challenge, isn't it, though, Phil?
No, it's different.
Because everybody has the same amount of players, the same amount of opportunity. It just makes it harder, to work the waiver wire when there's more teams out there. That is more challenging. And we got 12. I think 12, more than enough challenge. 10 is the sweet spot that I have all the leagues in. Pinisher says, I agree. 10 teams is ideal. Harvey Putswaddler has a punishment for Neil.
Oh.
How about a dunk tank at the draft? Fourth dimension,
Ooh.
and the other hosts take turns throwing, trying to put them in the water. In the water, there's 1 or 2 piranhas. This goes until we prove by weighing him if he's given up that pound of flesh.
Jeez.
I like the dunk tank idea. We can make him wear a bikini too.
Who
a bikini?
I don't want that. That's unnecessary.
Dolphin shorts and a top.
Yeah. So who has a dunk tank?
The rental store.
I don't. If we go back to Dave and Buster's, I don't know if they're going to let us to have a dunk tank indoors. Most places probably wouldn't either.
And if it's for charity, what you can do is you can pay one price for balls to try and dunk them, and then a little bit extra for like pie cans full of Ready Whip, and just bam.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that really a punishment? Because Neil is used to have a lot of balls coming out at his face. I just feel like that's not much of a punishment. We will figure this out. You guys can maybe try to sort it out on your show tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that.
What time is your show on again?
10 o'clock.
What station?
1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
All right.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation and a regular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduced stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone.
Well, I do need a bundle of things.
When you bundle, you save.
Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter?
Save up to $12 on that bundle.
What about brake pads and rotors?
Bundle those and the brake pads are free.
Can't save more than free.
You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
It's back. The 3rd annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
So, what's your favorite thing about sports? The excitement, the action, or the 5-meat pizza and the 6-pack?
Bingo.
That's what we thought.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey, Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic. LA Kid says, wait a second, you're telling me that the smartest guy on the station has his own show on Saturdays? No, we're on
Yes,
Monday through Friday.
We are telling you that. Yes, the smartest guy on the stage. You
I
didn't
think
want me
an
to
LA
do the
kid is Ralph.
you didn't want me to do the intro too?
What's that?
I thought you would want me to do the intro. I mean, since I did the out.
Oh no, I'm fine. That's fine. I mean, listen, I'm more than happy to start my weekend now. If you want to just take over the damn show,
I thought you started it an hour ago, but okay.
Don't even need to worry.
Hey, at the draft party, will there be a ceremony to, celebrate
Commemorate.
my championship, my kingdom?
Because of all the tariffs, there's a delay on getting the. So we'll mail you your trophy.
Yeah.
No.
We'll mail that out.
Don't make me buy my own trophy.
Soon as we get an opportunity, we'll mail that right out to you.
I'm looking forward to that trophy. It's going right here in this studio.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, so we were trying to talk about the basketball. We got off on this whole football thing.
Yes.
And
yeah.
So we want to talk about it's just a lot of these matchups, a lot of these games, almost like they are all following a script. Remember, everybody was the NFL is scripted. Oh, it's rigged. Oh, I almost feel like the NBA in its playoffs, it's like they're following a very similar script. I mean, the last game, they were never close. Oh, they never came from behind. Oh, they were back 30 points. Well, okay, it wasn't as bad for the Pacers against the Knicks, but they were never in range to win that. I mean, 20 points, you can turn it around. I think with 3 minutes left, once you get about to 3 minutes left, if you're down by 20, then no, this is probably not going to work. It's probably not going to happen. Used to be a 10-point swing. Now with all the 3-point shooting, it's 20-point swing. But yeah, I mean, I sat there and I watched that game last night, and I'm like, do something. There's nothing happened the entire time. The Knicks were just ahead of the Pacers. I think the closest the Pacers got was what, 6 points, and just couldn't get it going. The Pacers looked like they were asleep, like they didn't care, or they were. I don't know if they were tired or if they were like, let's go finish this off in Indianapolis. It didn't seem like a team that should have been in the Eastern Conference Finals, to be honest.
My dad would always say they're going to let it go another game because it's a lot of money.
Yep.
Every time they play, it's a lot of money.
I've wondered that in the past, but that's not the way these players are wired. I don't know unless they slip something in the food and everybody was just like, I feel great, Well,
for me, the way that this looked at is that the Knicks came out with that urgency. The Knicks came out with energy to begin the game. And I think most importantly, Karl Anthony Towns has really been the blood flow of this game, right? Like or of this series, I should say. Whenever he's on and whenever he's made an impact, the game goes, whenever yes, absolutely. Because whenever he's going and whenever he makes an impact for a game, the Knicks win. Whenever he's clotted up and whenever he's clogged, whenever he's not getting to where he needs to be, then the Knicks just absolutely do not have any flow to their game, and they are done.
Flow too. There's a lot going on here.
I know.
Karl Anthony Towns will be known forevermore as the Engorger.
Absolutely.
Little blue pill.
So whenever Kitty Cat over there, whenever he actually makes his presence known, and whenever he's over there actually getting rebounds, like that is the thing, is that whenever him and Brunson are on the court at the same time, the Indiana Pacers have two players with which to attack offensively because they are defensive liability. So if Cat can give them anything in the rebounding and defensive, Randy, are you okay?
Don't you mean the Engorger?
No, he's known.
I don't think we're going to call him the Engorger, Randy.
I
don't think that's going to stick.
No,
but I think whenever he's out there and making things happen defensively, that's when the Knicks really show that they are the more talented overall team.
Well, Karl Anthony Towns Jr. He did come out and he did take care of business. But Brunson with that 32 points. Him coming alive made a big difference, but rebounds wise, you brought up rebounds. They're pretty close as far as that stat line goes. 45 rebounds for the Knicks and 40 for the Pacers. And the turnovers weren't even. You would almost felt like, and I think a lot of those turnovers came later in the game for the Pacers, but is 20 turnovers for the Pacers, but there's 15 for the Knicks. So they were giving it back and forth to each other there a bit. It's just the scoring. And even then, the Pacers were still shooting better in the 3-point range. It's just, the rest of it, it was all Knicks. So, all right. So that was that game. It was just a bad game. It was not a great game for the Pacers. This is not where the Pacers live. This is not a thing that they won't correct and come back from. And really, you take every single thing about basketball. Oh, was it their strategy? Was it the shooting? Was it no? It was just they didn't have any energy. They had no energy. They were not out there trying to exert their will over the Knicks, and the Knicks were just trying to stay alive. And the fact that the game was as close as it was, even though they were within 20 a lot of the times, and sometimes they'd kind of chip it away down to 15, and then it'd come back to 20. They chip it away down to, it's still, wasn't completely out of reach if the Pacers could have got out of their own way and put a string of baskets together. So
I feel like the Pacers were just really off last night. I think maybe they were tired for whatever reason. They didn't seem to be sharp. They didn't seem to be energetic. And like Phil said, I think the Knicks came out. This was an opportunity to have this series go on to Game 7. Whether it's a conspiracy or not, I don't know. But I can say this. It's going to be a lot of fun. Game 7s are always fun, aren't they? I mean, it doesn't matter if it's NHL or MLB or the NFL. Well, the NFL doesn't have Game 7, but you know what I'm talking about, NBA. Game 7s just seem to be magical, and I think this is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
You really think it's going to go to a Game 7? I feel like the Pacers will take care of it on the next game.
But aren't they moving to Game 7?
It's Game 6.
Game 6.
I thought they were moving to Game 6 or to 7.
They've decided to skip Game 6 and move on to Game 7.
My bad. My mistake. My mistake.
So you don't think none of this has to do with the fact that the Pacers probably bring in about $3 to $4 million for playing Game 6?
I'm trying to talk about this like a grown-up.
No, seriously. I mean, come on. You don't think that's ever been done in the history of the NBA?
If somebody purposely blows the game, you can get a coach to want to do that. You can get a GM to want to do that. You can get an owner to want to do that. You can't get players.
Not in a 17-point blowout. Maybe if it was a contentious 2-point, last second buzzer beater that somebody calls a foul on, maybe, but not with this type of result.
It makes me wonder, but then there's an awful lot of people who need to be complicit in, hey, let's stretch this to another game so we can go back home. I don't see how they could actually.
I don't believe it, but I'm not saying it's impossible.
Yeah. Rocky Mountain High says, I made another $100 bet today and it paid off. I took the Chicago White Sox to cover the spread against the Baltimore Orioles. It was 1.5 runs in favor of Baltimore. White Sox only lost 2-1. Another win for me, baby.
Rocky
wow,
Mountain
he's
High.
been doing. That's the second time this week, isn't it?
Yeah, Rocky Mountain High. Stop it with these bottom feeders and getting the spread. I know that's
he's making money. What are you talking about?
I was just gonna say he's making money. Why should he stop it?
Because that is a dangerous game. That is a dangerous game to rely on the bottom feeders to come through and not lose by so
much. Are you trying to Chris Isaacs him on this?
I'm trying my best. Right now, he's gonna think that he has an in. He's gonna think that he has a routine, that he's got an unbeatable.
He does have
strategy.
A routine.
But no, this is how. This is the
he's
beginning.
Not betting the rent.
This is the beginning of the end for you, my friend. Please stop while you're ahead, or else the roulette will end in 0-0. Please.
Wow, this sounds like you're speaking from experience.
1-800 next step.
Please stop. It hurts. It hurts too much in the end.
It hurts. It hurts to see somebody else win.
No, trust me, it hurts whenever you make the wrong bet. Oh my God.
Baker's Cocky Hen says Game 7, Halliburton chokes him out, and Spike cries along Stephen A. This is TNT's last broadcast, so expect 7. I don't think that has anything to do with it.
I really don't.
Pacers will take this and finish it off on Saturday. That is the next game.
I think they will too,
6346, one of our new texters from the other day, says, hey, if you want some protection for that draft party of yours, let me know. Me and my guys provide top-notch security.
This guy's a gem. I don't know who this guy is.
You don't have to pay extra for armed guards either, capiche?
Yeah,
nice.
He's been
like one of your guys, Ralph?
Do we got one of my WAP brothers?
Yeah, but he's a mafia man. I don't know.
Ralph can say that because he's Italian.
I'm Italian, so I got one of my Guidos.
Mm-hmm. He showed up. He showed up yesterday, offering offering to make
it's
certain
always
people
good to have
disappear
more
for
of
me.
us on here. I appreciate
Yes.
that.
Yes.
Bring more of us.
Moist One says, can I bring my 2 blender trophies to my housewarming party or just engrave my name twice on Ralph's trophy? That'll work. Actually, we put your name twice on 1 trophy. If you really want 2 trophies, we can do that, but we'll have to reprint the things. Anyways, listen, that's 2 hours down. We got 1 to go. I don't know what the hell we're talking about. Probably football. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Progressive knows not all rides are smooth. Meet Claire. She loves her motorcycle, and she's learned to love the insects she encounters on her rides. She may not know the difference between a gnat and a mosquito at 55 miles per hour, but she does know one thing. It's always gross when one flies into her mouth. But she's so used to it that it's weird when it doesn't happen. Not every ride is smooth, but Progressive has your back with comprehensive and collision coverage from America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hey everybody, it's Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends at the Lund Mortgage Team. Did you know that the Lund Mortgage Team was founded back in 1999? That's right. They're celebrating 25 years in existence this year. And you know what you have to do to stay in business that long? You have to be good at what you do. And the Lund Mortgage Team is not just good, they are great. They have helped thousands of people save thousands of dollars over those 25 years here in the Valley of the Sun. They only lend in Arizona. And they're mortgage brokers, which means they can shop your rate around. They're not tied to just one set of rates. Mortgage rates can get crazy. They can get high. They can get low. There's good times to strike and there's times to stay on the sideline. Let the Lund Mortgage Team be your coach, be your team leader when it comes to these huge decisions. Call 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940, or you can always check them out at lundmortgage.com. Great website with all the tools you need. Call them today. They're my great friends, and you'll love them. It's the Lund Mortgage Team.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K257CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240 EU Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
Quiet, people, settle down because it's time.
For what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
All right, everybody, it's 5 o'clock here on the Daily Blender. I'm your good friend, your radio pal, Jeffrey O'Brien, alongside Randy White. We got Ralph from Harmon Solar with us. Phil's in the control room, and you guys are on the Fanatic text line, 888-368-1580, as we broadcast live in the Harmon Solar Studios in Scottsdale. And I'm confused, Kiss the Cook. He says, what the hell? He says, I can't listen to you in Minneapolis. Why? We don't have any restrictions on our stream. So here's the thing. If you're having a problem with an app and you're like, oh, I can't hear you someplace, then go to 1580thefanatic.com and just click on the listen live there. Maybe that will help you. Are you using a VPN or something like that? Maybe that has something to do with it. And as yeah, I'm looking right now. It shows no geofencing or anything like that on our stream. So I don't know, man. Unless you just don't have good internet or something. He says, I respect Reggie Miller, but his statement that Towns Brunson is too much for Indy to handle, that was just absurd. Well, in that game, it might have been just that way. But I mean, they had lack of energy, but also, they didn't play as good a defense as normal. That's all.
Yeah, that didn't feel like a statement for the entirety of the series.
Last Optimist says, how's nobody giving Karl Anthony Towns the nickname Big Cat? Get him a sponsorship with a Yellow Earth Mover company. Well, because he has no use for one of those things. It's not like you can see him pull up to the game in a giant, bulldozer or something. Rocky Mountain High says, who's that guy that shouts third hour? He sounds very familiar. Well, Rocky Mountain High, that is the voice of the Cardinals. That's Jim Barnett. Who, when you're at the game, you hear him say third down. And he happened to listen to the show. And we found out he was listening, and he texted in, and we said, hey, could you do that for us? And, after, a while of me begging him, he finally did it. And now we have it. So
really wasn't a while. I mean, he did it rather quickly, but
it was a while. Listen, I was the one who had to do all the begging.
Well, that is true.
Donnie keeps asking when the betting show returns.
Which one? We have several.
Yeah. Well, 6 p.m. How's that? Yeah.
6 o'clock tonight.
Moist One says the Pacers need to put their hand on the Brunson burner and don't let them get hot.
Wow.
Woof. That was horrible.
That's close to 2 minutes right there. Yeah.
Give you a warning at least.
Mm-hmm.
So Diamondbacks are playing at 6:40 p.m. It's a home game hosting the Washington Nationals. We should win this game.
Well, I don't like to say that. It's another game where the Diamondbacks, I think, have an edge. We can go into this game and we can get our offense moving again.
Who's worse, the Washington Nationals or Pittsburgh?
Yeah, if you're capable of losing to the Pittsburgh Pirates, you can lose to anybody.
Well, I think the Washington Nationals and the Diamondbacks have a similar record, if I'm not mistaken. Let me look up the standings here real quick.
We got 2 more games than they do. We got 2 more wins than they have.
Okay, so they're very similar then. It just kind of comes down to Diamondbacks pitching and can we hold a lead? That's been the problem all season long. I know Ralph's kind of starting to giggle here. But that's been the problem all year long for the Diamondbacks.
If we're going to talk baseball, can we talk about real baseball? There's a great game on tonight between the Dodgers and the Yankees. Why are you talking about
888-368-1580?
99.3 The Fanatic. Anyway.
By the way, 6346 says, hey, if you're having some trouble with an IT company geofencing your stream there, let me know. My guys can take care of this. We have our own IT company with no geofencing at all. A very good rate for a fellow Italians.
There you go.
I mean, but 1580 has some pretty high-tech geofencing, geothermal technology that they use. So
yeah, I just checked it. It's not on. So if somebody's having a hard time hearing the station in Minneapolis,
they
either have bad internet or there's something going on with a VPN on your end. So sorry, dude. But of course, he doesn't hear me saying that. So Moist One says the Nationals might be getting hot. Scored 9 runs in 2 games versus the Mariners. Literally everyone they got for trading Juan Soto looks like they could be a star.
Well, certainly you're not going to trade away Juan Soto and come up blank. I mean, you've got to get some young talent. You got to get some guys that can perform at the major league level and contribute right away. You're giving up, arguably one of the best players in the league, although he's off to a slow start this season with the Mets. But this is a guy that's going to deliver, 30 home runs a season, put up 100 RBI. He's going to be a leader in your locker room. He's young. He's going to last. He's reliable. He plays the game the right way. So, yeah, I mean, Washington is look, they're a major league team. Anything can happen, especially with the Diamondbacks and this kind of pitching funk that they're in. Go ahead, Ralph. Sorry.
I was going to ask you, Reddy. I mean, at what point here, you're right. The Diamondbacks bullpen is horrible, right? Just horrible. At what point are we going to sit there and go, man, this manager needs to go? He's part of the problem.
We are about right there.
I mean, this team is I really thought they would be a decent, really good team this year. they're horrible.
Yeah.
They need a lot of things to change. I mean, even Zach Gallen has looked horrible this year. Something's not going on
Well,
there.
the first thing I said, Ralph, was pitching coach. We got to get a new pitching coach in there. But there's been no changes, no movements. And then there's been a lot of questionable decision-making by Torey Lovullo. And I hate to jump on the big George bandwagon of fire him, but I feel like we're kind of there.
It's time. I mean, I agree with you. He doesn't make the moves he should be making. He doesn't know how to manage baseball. You can just tell. It's time to make a change, or you guys are in for a losing season, which has been a while since you've had a losing season. But that's where you're headed.
Well, I agree with you, and I think that the fact that they walked away from a Hall of Fame pitching coach last year and brought in this guy Brian Kaplan, who was with I guess in the Phillies organization. When you had Brent Strom last year, a guy that had Zach delivering nothing but just absolute death and destruction every time he went out there, unless he was injured. And then he had Merrill Kelly firing on all cylinders. And then you get rid of him because you have a difference, quote unquote, of opinion in philosophy. And you bring in Brian Kaplan, and suddenly Zach Gallen has now got a 5+ ERA. Merrill Kelly has already been, injured once and is fighting back. Eduardo Rodriguez is not very helpful. Your bullpen is absolutely abhorrent. You have nobody out there. The Dodgers made a move yesterday, and the Diamondbacks don't see that their bullpen is in chaos and anarchy, and they can't get rid of some of these guys with a trade and bring in some fresh blood. Just doesn't make sense to me.
That's a really good point too. You have to give the Dodgers that, right? Their Tanner Scott is arse right now, right? The money they paid for that guy, he's terrible right now. He's 3 blown saves in a row. What do? They go and get another closer to bring in to say, if you're not going to do what we paid you to do, we're going to find somebody who can. The Diamondbacks need that kind of mentality, and they just don't have it.
They don't have it. You're right.
Donnie says, oh, wow, well, that's what you get for crapping all over Minnesota teams. What, you think because Kiss the Cook can't get the show in Minneapolis, that's that Minnesota? Here's the thing, Donnie. We don't care if they can hear us in Minnesota. So that's what you get. Well, I don't care if they listen in Minnesota. I only feel bad the Kiss the Cook can't listen. But the reality of it is Firefarter is correct when he says, do they even have internet in Minneapolis? Pretty sure they just got a fax machine last year, right? So, yeah, I mean, I feel for Kiss the Cook, but that's what we get. Yeah, we're okay with it. Hamilton Porter says, crazy fact, the Rockies have actually have the 16th best attendance in baseball this year.
Well, those Rocky fans are famous for going out and enjoying a day at the ballpark. There's nothing wrong with that.
16th best. Well, it's Colorado, so of course the weather is beautiful. Why wouldn't you want to sit there?
People go out there, they get stoned in the stands. They don't care. I mean, they're sucking down brats and
Lots of
mushrooms.
concession sales.
They got some mushrooms on their brat that they're this magic
Rocky Mountain
mushrooms.
oysters.
And then they're hitting their dubs. They're in the stand. I mean, come on. I mean,
all over those oysters.
You're not helping, Randy. Can I tell you why? Because my wife and I have been talking. It's like, down the road here, when we retire, where do you want to live? Now, we're a good 15 years away from retirement, but you were like, well, we don't want to live where it's too hot. So Arizona's out. And I don't want to live in northern Arizona because it's getting hotter and hotter up there too. So it's like, no, forget that. So we were talking about Colorado. And she's like, yeah, she says, but they're all stoned up there. And if like we get older and we want somebody to give us good health care, you want some dude who's blitzed out of his brain trying to help put in a catheter or something. And I'm like, I said, I got news for you. The entire country is going to be that soon enough, where everything is going to be legal across the United States. You don't have a safe place where you can go. And I said, but the other thing is, not every healthcare worker is going to be high. Not everybody is going to do that. Like, not everybody drinks. Not everybody does drugs. And I would feel like people who are of a higher intelligence and work in that kind of a field probably going to want to have their wits about them. So I don't know that the future is going to be filled with bleary-eyed workers with Dorito stains on their fingers. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that's going to be it. But it's not helping when you say that kind of stuff, Randy. If I ever decided I wanted to move to Colorado,
you want to move to Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Ruidoso, New Mexico.
Wow, really nice.
What's there?
It's what's not there? A bunch of people, traffic jams, crazy psycho doctors that are jonesing for their next bowl of mushrooms and
I don't think that's
trip.
what it's like in
Ruidoso,
what's not there.
Ruidoso, New Mexico. Gets a little cool in the winter. They've got a ski resort up there, but it's okay. But they have oh my God, it's a really pretty views up there. Yeah. Ruidoso, New Mexico.
New Mexico is not the greatest.
No, it's not like the normal route, New Mexico.
It's nice enough. There's nice places, but the I feel
Santa
like
Fe is nice.
I feel like the politics there are going to cost me.
Well,
you know what I mean?
Well, I don't know about that. You go to Ruidoso.
Does anybody have a pocketbook anymore?
I don't think so.
Yes, it's going to cost me in the wallet.
I barely have a wallet.
Hurry Harry says, you were in Oregon, Jeffrey. What about Bend, Oregon? I mean, I grew up there as a child. It doesn't mean I want to go back and hang out with all them damn dirty hippies. Hitting the Nuts says, hey, I can hear you in Florida. See, there you go.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
The fact that somebody in Florida can actually operate any equipment's a miracle.
Yep.
Big George says, excellent. You guys have finally come to the dark side. Feel the power of the dark side. Fire Torey Lavello. Fire Mike Hazen. Fire Bobby Hurley. Well, Bobby Hurley doesn't work for the Diamondbacks, George, but we're not exactly at the dark side. We're at the reasonable point where you can take a look and say, stuff's kind of broken. This was supposed to be a better season than it was. That's a lot of talent sitting there to be doing this bad.
I've been dying to ask Ralph this because I read an article. I don't know if you saw it. Mike Hazen was answering some questions from a reporter, and it wasn't Steve Gilbert. It was somebody else from MLB. He was talking about all things Diamondbacks, and some of the statements he made, Ralph, were shocking to me. He feels like the Diamondbacks are real close to being contenders. That they've lost a lot of close games. Their pitching staff is fixable, and there's not really one thing that he can put his finger on to tell these guys what's wrong with the Diamondbacks or what's right. He feels like they just have to be better or play better. And I was just kind of like, do you not see when Kevin Ginkel comes into a game and you've got a 7-2 lead against the Pirates and they score 7 runs in 1 inning? Do you not see that? Does that not register with you that everybody you run out there to be a closer gives up a home run and we lose the game? Do you not see this happening in front of you, Mike Hazen? I don't know if you saw that. I want to know if you did.
I heard about it, and he's not in touch with reality. It's very obvious, right? I mean,
well, it sounds like a guy trying to protect his job.
He is. I mean, and the glaring issue is why not spend the money on a closer and get a setup guy? If you just did that,
maybe he knows he can't get any money from a certain stingy bastard owner.
That may be the case, which then you have to sit there and make stuff up like he sounds like he just did, because that's just ridiculous. Their issues are glaring. You need starting pitching to get you through the 6th inning. You need 2 guys to come in for the 7th and 8th, a couple of setup guys, and you need a guy to come in and shut the door in the 9th. It's that simple. It's not hard, but you have no talent on that back end. So your starters are left in the island. They've got to try to go as far as they can, or they know the game's going to go away. And even like you just said, they can get to the 8th, and then they bring Ginkel in, and then boom, they give up 7 runs. Right? That's happening more than not happening. So yeah, it's a glaring issue. It's obvious what's wrong with them, and they're not doing anything at all to fix it at all.
Firefighter says, if you're worried about moving someplace where there's rampant drug use, you don't want to move to New Mexico. Why not move to Idaho or Montana? Can I tell you?
Now Montana's nice, but
I already know.
Yes,
Caldera, the giant ass volcano over underneath that part of the country. I mean, listen, if that thing goes, we're all dead. But I just don't want to be dead immediately. I kind of want to enjoy some of this dystopian future we have in front of us. I want to see how well I can do in the compound before I get gacked.
You want to suffer before you die.
No, I think me and my kids are uniquely qualified for any kind of post-apocalyptic situation.
It's in your genes.
Yeah.
So you want to experience a nuclear winter. That's you.
I mean, I think that I think I could probably survive a while, that way, but eventually it's bad.
Oh,
So if that
gosh.
Caldera goes, by the way, good news. Maybe I will. Maybe I will look at Montana because here's why. They're saying that they've discovered why that thing hasn't blown up yet. There's this layer that is allowing enough steam to come out that it's regulating all that magma and keeping it from exploding by it's releasing. It's like a married man when he spends a little time in the shower with an iPad. It just enough gets let, enough of the pressure is released to where everything is fine and you just keep
iPad in
going.
the shower.
Anyway,
Ruined my iPad.
Buffalo Mike says, I moved from Colorado 9 years ago. The politics and housing prices would not agree with you there.
That's true.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, I got to start traveling and figure out where, where
Oklahoma.
the future is for me. Oklahoma.
Where the winds are.
Hey, I'm telling you,
running
your money will go a long way. You think you're rich here, you're going to be like
Well, in
Bill
that case,
Gates
I'll
over
move
there.
to Spain.
Why not?
Hey, Spain, you do a lot worse. That's a fantastic place.
That's where we got married, and it was a very nice, I got to get those little earbuds that translate automatically.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got those, so I can at least. They won't understand me, but I'll understand them. So I can go. Hey, do you want onions? I'll be like that. That's all I got to do. I mean, I tried to do it with my phone, speaking into my phone and playing it back, and they all looked at me like, what is wrong with you? It's like, just learn Spanish. It's like, it's not that easy.
Yeah.
But that technology, back 9 years ago wasn't where it is now. So anyway, okay. So, hey, this is something where I wish we had this. The headline is the Braves' Chris Sale is now the fastest to reach 2,500 career strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
He did it in 2,026 innings, and that makes him the fastest to that. Second place, the person he pushed out of the way, Randy Johnson.
Yeah.
Randy Johnson did it in 2,107 innings. So, I mean, he's smoking. Chris Sale is just blazing.
And it's amazing if you think about Chris Sale because he's been hurt a lot.
I know.
Yeah.
So if he hadn't been hurt, how crazy would that be, huh?
Yeah,
I
he
thought his
would've got
career
there
was
a lot
over
sooner.
about like 3 seasons ago.
Yeah, everybody thought he was done. I mean, so that's pretty amazing.
So congratulations to Chris Sale on that. And I think I speak for all Diamondback fans when I say jealous. Big George says the Diamondbacks spend money foolishly.
Yes.
Okay, you're right.
Yes.
Randy has said that a million times before. They either don't spend money or they spend too much money in the wrong place.
Yes.
And George says they have a record payroll for the season, but they spent it all on Eduardo Rodriguez, Jordan Montgomery to go away, and Corbin Burns. Now Corbin Burns appears to be working out, but Eduardo Rodriguez, he's the next Madison Bumgarner. Diamondbacks should have spent money on their bullpen. They should go out and get a free agent right now. Joe Kelly is available right now. So is Ralph's boy out in Japan.
Trevor Bauer, man, he's sitting there and he still looks really good.
I don't know about going out. I think Eduardo Rodriguez is going to be okay. He's been dealing with some stuff, and from what I understand, is he's not through it yet. But there was a couple of games this season where he was absolutely owning the other team. And here comes Torey Lovello doing the elephant walk. Bum, 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 bum. Let's take him out in the 6th inning, even though he's dealing. And let's bring in Kevin Ginkel. Bum, 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 bum. And then there's the move to the bullpen. And here comes Kevin Ginkel trotting in from the bullpen. And bam, the game is over. The Diamondbacks lose again.
Ginkel taking another tinkle.
But I will say this, Kevin Ginkel is a man because he has stood up and he's answered the questions. He's taken responsibility. He's not running away from the media. He's being a man about it. And you know what? He's going out there and trying as hard as he can. He's not. His placement is horrible.
He should be down. He should be down AAA working on it.
Well, yes, and that's another thing that I just don't understand what Mike Hazen is doing. I start sending these guys down and bringing up some of your young stock and see what they can do up here. Maybe they can do something better. You know what I mean?
I mean, poor Rodriguez, he hasn't recovered from what the Dodgers did to him, so I'm not sure he ever will.
Speaking of Dodgers, you guys got the Yankees visiting you. And that's
Apple baseball tonight.
Gonna be a hell of a thing between these two teams. I wish it was a 4-game, series, so nobody
both
could win.
lose too.
Right. But again, understand, I hate the Yankees. I just get annoyed by the Dodgers. I don't like the Dodgers, but I hate the Yankees.
You don't like the Dodgers because of me, other than that.
Hmm?
You just don't like the Dodgers.
No,
of
not
me.
because of you.
I've heard you say it.
No,
it's part of it. I'm not gonna lie.
Yasiel Puig.
It's not all. Yeah, Puig. I've been pissed with the
bull thing?
Dodgers.
He's not
since
even.
they-
He just got cut from the Korean League. I mean, he's done.
Doesn't matter. He was wearing the LA when he did it, so he tweaked in our pool, man.
I
He
think this
tweaked
will
in
be
our
a
pool.
great weekend series to watch. This will be great baseball.
Yeah, but I got nobody to root for. I can't root for the Dodgers, even though I hate the Yankees. I don't even know what to do with this. Although I'm taking a look at who's playing, this is an opportunity to put up some offense. That pitcher, Tony Gonzalez, doesn't look that good. Gonsolin does not look
What do you
that
mean
good.
he doesn't look good? He just came back from
Compared to
major
Max
injury.
Fried. Fried?
Gonsolin's actually getting. Gonsolin is the cat. Gonsolin will be fine tonight. I'm more worried about. I think tomorrow Knack is pitching.
Oh,
yeah, Knack is not good. The Dodgers have a lot of injuries in the mound right now, so trying to deal with it.
What do you think? You're going to hit your way out of this game? Is that what you're going to do?
They're going to have to try because I mean, right now their pitching is just it's injured.
Atrocious,
so
yeah.
They have to hit it. They have to hit the way out of games, and they're doing it. So
Yeah, I just wish they could both lose. There's just no way.
you get to watch Otani tonight, and you get to watch Aaron Judge. I mean, two of the best long ball hitters in the game.
No, I think I'm going to just go ahead and watch the Diamondbacks struggle.
Just
against
turn it
the
off by
Washington
the fifth.
Nationals.
Turn it off by the fifth inning. You'll be all
Against the Natties, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's my future.
Yeah.
All right, we got to take a break. When we come back, let's talk some ASU. Let's talk some football. Let's talk some other things. It's the Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
All systems go. Listen to our live stream on your phone at 1580thefanatic.com.
Attention! If you owe money to the IRS, this is an urgent message. The IRS is cracking down by sending out collection letters, garnishing paychecks, seizing bank accounts, and putting liens on homes and businesses. They call it enforced compliance. And you better watch out because penalties and interest on unpaid taxes compound daily, making it even harder to get out of debt. Don't let tax debt destroy your life. You need to call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. They're experts in taxpayer assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, Optima's resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. Let them fight on your behalf, helping to put your tax problems to rest. Call the tax professionals at Optima now for a free consultation.
Call 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744. 800-410-6744.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from Michaela's Mobile Spa, Michaela. Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore his seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
It's back. The third annual Fire and Fairways Charity Golf Tournament presented by Kasai Japanese Steakhouse. It's Monday, June 2nd at Biltmore Golf Club. This year supporting Alice Cooper's Solid Rock Teen Centers. Early entry is just $175 and includes goodie bag, raffle tickets, plus a fabulous after golf celebration, lunch buffet, and drinks at Kasai Japanese Steakhouse in Scottsdale. You don't golf? Well, then join us at the celebration for just $75. Sign up today. Go to KasaiFireandFairways.com. That's KasaiFireandFairways.com.
My name is Mary Grace. There are a few misconceptions about Alzheimer's. It's not just memory loss. It's the loss of mobility, the risk of falling.
For more information, contact the Alzheimer's Association at alz.org, sponsored by the Alzheimer's Association.
Let's breathe.
Deep inhale. Extend your spine. Exhale very slowly. Find mental health resources at loveyourmindtoday.org. This message is brought to you by the Huntsman Mental Health Institute and the Ed Council.
It's the bone-crushing hits. The searing sounds of training camp. Come on, knock your ass back! Okay, so great. Let's go! Soon, the new recruits will show up for minicamp. And then, it's down to business in training camp. When it comes to the NFL, we talk about it. We're 1580 The Fanatic, and always on at 1580thefanatic.com. Your home for the NFL.
Blender here on 50. Sorry. Yes. A bug just flew in my mouth. 1580 The Fanatic and whatever. ASU had a great season of football last year. Went farther than anyone ever would have given them credit for. But now Coach Dillingham, he's not too thrilled with the fact that ASU is no longer an underdog. Loved the position of underdog. And let's be honest, that's an easier place to operate from. When everybody underestimates you, when everybody thinks, well, you're not that great, and you can prove them otherwise, it's easier to come from that position than be sitting there, that's a great team there. They're favored to win. It's like, oh, geez, now we got to prove it. Now we've got to back that up. And he says, I'd probably would rather be more comfortable as the underdog. Which, that's fair. And that's, that's honest. He says it's naturally motivating too for when people say you suck. It's way more difficult for people to say, oh, you're good. And I'm not one who likes the limelight or people telling me I'm good anyway. So for me, it's uncomfortable when you get the compliments. And he says, I'd rather be an underdog. Well, here's the funny thing. Do we feel as strongly about this ASU team that's coming in as we did the last one? Because I feel like everybody's just giving them compliments on last year, but not really considering what they are this year. Kenny Dillingham, I think that very, very quickly things will turn around and you will be that underdog again. I don't know that the team is as strong this year as it was last year.
Yeah, specifically towards the coaching element of what he, of having to actually coach players. It's always easier to motivate from an underdog perspective, but he is lying in that everybody wants to be the favored person. Everybody wants to be like the Boston Celtics heading into the season of where it's like, yeah, we are going to be given the championship pedigree. We are going to be given the championship favoritism. We are going to be given the shadow of a doubt because we are the champions, because we have that massive talent. Obviously, the season happens as it happens. As it particularly goes to ASU and how their talent stacks up against the rest of the conference, no. I mean, a lot of what they had, a lot of their seniority, a lot of their built-in leadership and built-in guys left. I mean, you look at the running back, he left. You look at the quarterback, he left. Now we got a new guy coming in who's
the quarterback didn't leave. Sam Levitt is still there.
Is still here. Cam Scadaboo went bye-bye, but we got some high level recruits have come in, and Dillingham, of course, always really good at working that transfer portal. He's like my son. My son, if he gets a handful of money, he'll be like, Dad, let's go to the mall. And he'll go into some of these places and he's like an old man. He hits the clearance rack and he knows how to find a deal. He finds some really cool stuff, and the other kids laugh at him. They're like, what are you doing there at the clearance rack there? And, but boy, Milo knows how to get himself a deal. And he walks around in some of the coolest clothes you've ever seen because he knows how to work it. That's Dillingham with the transfer portal. He knows how to work it. And it hasn't hurt that the Sun Devils had such a nice season because that made it easier just for basic recruiting in general. Dillingham is insane. I think that we all agree that Kenny Dillingham is a bit of a nut job, but in a good way. And so, people want to play for him. He's a motivator. He's good at what he does. And I think that he'll be coach for, quite a few years if he keeps it up. But I understand.
Yeah,
it's more fun to be underestimated and to be the underdog and come out and prove people wrong. And then you get to a certain point and you don't go any further. they were like, wow, we were surprised to be here anyway. So yay. So now there's a lot more expectations on this team.
Yeah,
You're right, uncomfortable.
That is true. Yeah, absolutely. It becomes something of a standard. The standard is what you set, and you raise the bar. That is the hopefully not the rope upon which you becomes a noose for yourself, but hopefully it's something that you achieve each year in and year out. That would be something that would be great, especially as an ASU fan. I've come to expect nothing from ASU. This is the first year that I've come into the season actually excited, actually thinking that we might be able to do something and then maybe hopefully enjoy a season from beginning to end. Because I mean, ashamedly, last year I didn't tune in until about halfway through.
I like Ralph, who slobbers over USC and always ends up with nothing to show for it.
But I mean, he's excited about what? You don't have Scatterboo. How do you replace that? That was your team.
That is a tough one.
I mean, every time I'd watch ASU, I mean, I know they got some other good talent. I like Levitt a lot. I think he could be really good. But it always came down to we need Scatterboo to save us. And he did consistently, right? He was that great of a player. What do you have? You don't have that guy this year. That's
going to find out. Going to find out. There were some pretty good 3 stars and 4 stars that came down. And then, of course, there's a transfer portal. It's supposed to have a really, I can't remember his name, but a really good running back who's coming through. I mean, listen, chances of Lightning striking twice and having a running back like Scatterboo that just shows up and we have no idea who he is, not probably very high. But you can't count a team out like this. And so, like I said, after the first week, everybody's going to start to drop ASU down into underdog status again, and that's where they like to play from, and that's where they'll be. I just, I wish we had another year of Scatterboo. That would have been nice.
Oh, that would have been so nice.
I wonder how he'll do with the Giants. I keep seeing little videos of him that are put out by the Giants, and they're pretty high on him. They're seeing.
He's going to see the field, whether or not. He'll also probably be on special teams. Like that guy is just built to overcome
his size
obstacles.
Makes it tough, though. I don't know.
I don't think he'll be like a starter, but he could be like in certain packages.
He doesn't have a long career ahead of him. He's not built for that. I don't think. I think he's going to have a short career. They're going to use him as much.
There's been other. Now, listen. You want to argue short quarterbacks? I'm
not short. It's just.
But when it comes to him, But there's a thing about him. He's 5'9", and he's a little bowling ball who's insane. Yeah. And he does take direction. It was because of Kenny Dillingham saying, hey, listen, if you want to be an NFL-style running back, you need to do this, this, and this.
No, I get it.
And he did exactly what he was told, and he ended up doing great. So whatever direction that they might give him, he's going to listen to. And I would not count him out for being able to make it in the NFL.
I want him to make it. You got to remember, a good percentage of the guys he was running over last year are working at Arby's this year. That's the difference, right?
Yeah, that's true.
So the guys in the NFL that he's going to be trying to run over, he's not going to run over. I mean, it's just a different level.
Did he put them in Arby's?
Well, I think a lot of people.
See?
And you will make me some curly fries.
Well, see, I hope he's successful because I love the way he plays the game. I mean, how can you not root for that guy, right?
Yeah. So we'll see if he's a committee guy. We'll see if he goes off and goes nuts. Am I going to draft him in fantasy football?
No.
You might, but no. Neil would, but no.
Don't even try to put me in that category.
He would draft him in the first round, first pick.
Moist One says Danny Woodhead.
Yeah, Danny Woodhead could be a guy. I was thinking more of kind of like a Philip Lindsay, even for my Denver Broncos, undrafted guy, kind of made a name for himself, more physical, even though his stature wouldn't suggest that he was. Yeah, I know.
Oh gosh.
I mean, but hey, that's a role.
Stretch, dude. Come on.
That's a role.
That's a stretch.
I just remember he had pretty nice hair. That's all I remember
CJ
about
Anderson,
him.
another guy where you looked at him, kind of made the most out of his stature. He was a short little bowling ball, and there we go.
Thundar the San Riverian says, hey, is that old Phil back in the studio? I thought he left to pursue a professional pickleball career. Welcome back, Phil. Good to see you again. And Ralph, go Diamondbacks.
Yeah, go Diamondbacks. Good luck.
It's not what he says, but I won't say the other thing.
Yeah.
Kiss the Cook says, yes, thank you. If only for a moment, I can listen in and decompress. Did you?
All right. He fixed it.
What?
Yeah, well, okay. How did you fix it?
Welcome back.
Yeah.
Hello.
And
Sorry, you have
kiss
to be
the
in
cook.
Minnesota.
What?
That's a shame,
Very
especially
sorry.
this time of year with the
Very
mosquitoes and the angry geese and all the
Oh,
poop
yes.
everywhere.
And the people.
Mhm.
Mr. Wilbur says, wait till Scooby Doo gets dank on the head and starts throwing up those so called sausage McMuffins that he had before the game. Let's see how long he lasts.
Wow.
The hell are you talking about, Wilbur? That is the most incoherent sentence.
Talking about Scatterboo?
Is that what he's trying to do?
Yeah, he's talking about Scatterboo. Yeah. Mhm.
Oh, and then it came out.
Same when he
Scooby-Doo.
gets hit on the head and he gets a concussion. He's wishing a concussion on Scatterboo.
He plays better with a concussion.
And he's saying that he was concussed when he won the game when he was in the game against Texas.
Hmm.
Mr. Wilbur,
evil
from U of A, is wishing nothing but evil.
So when Wilbur lost his sight, his
Uh-huh.
evil became more in tune with
Yep,
everything.
that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm pretty sure.
Swazman says, back in the day, Dallas Cowboys had a guy named Bill Bates who was a utility knife. They used him for a lot of different tricks. Scatterboo might be that kind of guy.
I remember Bill Bates.
Yeah, Bates was a master of a bunch of different
Yes.
skills.
Master Bates did it better than anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he knew what he liked.
Wow.
Anyway, Kiss the Cook says, hey, fill in. Kiss the Cook just gets to the end of the show. And he's like, I can hear. It's over. Oh.
Hey, hello.
So there's something that this doesn't really apply to ASU, but ASU did have a field rushing incident last season, and that it was hard to get everybody back off the field. But the SEC has increased the fines for rushing the field up to $500,000.
Wow.
That's stupid.
Don't think the crowd's going to care.
Yeah.
The crowd does not care, and you're not going to be able to pass that money on to the crowd. The crowd's going to rush the field. Just, you know what? If you don't want the $500,000 fine, get better, angrier looking security. That's, I guess, all you can try to do.
Yep,
But
yep.
Another $500,000 is going to be taken away from your team if your kids rush the field.
Good luck collecting that money.
Collecting? Oh,
Yeah,
they'll collect.
I wouldn't pay it.
Oh, the SEC. Listen, the SEC is not the NCAA. The SEC actually wields a little
Yeah.
bit of power.
They have some heft.
Yeah, they are probably less to be trifled with than the NCAA. But yeah, how do you stop people from storming the field? Really,
You can't. There's just no way to do it.
You know,
There's no
water
way to do it.
cannon.
Yeah, there's no way to do it. You cannot stop it.
Water cannon would be nice. Yeah.
Put
And then
like-
you could do that like the kids like those foamy things where that makes the foam.
Well,
You
they're
just
Nerf
shoot
guns.
the foam out there.
Nerf
Yeah, at those ragers that they go to, you shoot the foam out there, and they'll stay out of the field, and they'll have fun right there in the stands. You shoot the foam up in the stands. See what I mean?
Swazman's right, though. It was. He says, Jeffrey, you got to admit, last year's ASU U of A game, how the players and fans rushed the field, and the head coach was so angry on national TV trying to push people back. It was classic. No, that was very entertaining. All of it was entertaining, but if you're the school, you don't want to lose $500,000 on the deal. Wilbur says topless cheerleaders, yes, topless male cheerleaders keep fans off the field. That would do it.
What?
How would you know the difference, Wilbur? Moist One says, here's what you do. You put up a glass wall like a hockey game.
Ah, yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
With spikes.
But not plexiglass, real glass.
Real
so
glass,
if they break
yeah.
it, then everybody's arms get severed.
Ah.
I don't know. There's lots of ideas.
Well, they could still rush the field with severed arms.
What about,
you
like-
need something that's going to take their legs off?
What about wow?
It's good
What
thinking.
about like baseball
Yeah.
nets, like that just rise that you have control over, that you can just like almost like curtains, but
These
upward
idiot
rising.
kids be crawling over like rats on a ship.
Oh, yeah.
But that'll
Yeah.
give you time. That'll
Yeah,
give
yeah.
you the time needed to get off the field, and by that point, it's no longer storming the thing.
Or you get the nets up and they start climbing it and you start picking them off with the water cannon and they get blown back to like the 7th level.
It'll be like
right
World
there.
War Z. We'll bring in the choppers. We'll have a water cannon mounted inside the chopper.
I mean, first off, none of them girls are going to do like, I don't want to mess up my hair, so, I feel like there's lots of good ideas to keep these idiots off the field.
Well, hey, no, wait. If you have a white ASU T-shirt day, on that day, and you have water cannons, that'll keep the crowds at bay. Trust me. In one way or another.
Swazman says he has an idea.
Uh-oh.
He says, "What if players rush the stands before the students can rush the field, and everybody piles on right there in the middle, and nobody's on the field?"
Reverse psychology.
Wow.
I don't know if there's enough players to, you know what I'm saying? I mean,
that'll be like a Green Bay leap all over.
I like
field.
your idea, but I don't think logistically that's going to work. Baker's Cocky Hen says nets across the top of the field. Kids can climb them during the game as a home field advantage, but they can't get onto the actual field.
So you're playing the game and you look up and there's like a bunch of people just laying there,
kind of hanging over the top of you. That would actually be cool. Like, okay, you're allowed on the nets. You watch the entire game, like right over the top of the field. You're kind of watching stuff, and it's got to be high enough to where the kickoffs don't hit it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Think of safety for them from the balls. Yeah.
Always got to think of safety from the balls.
Always need to be safe with the balls. Yeah.
Kiss the Cook says Google Lux storming the castle. Severed arms and legs. Only a flesh wound. Moist one. Why? I can't read that. Why would you put that through the net? Nobody. You'd be arrested. Yeah, all right, let's take a break. We come back. We got on this date in Big George's sports history. It's a Daily Blender here on 1580 The Fanatic.
Get our free app and listen to the Daily Blender everywhere you go. Get it today, wherever you get your favorite apps.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plan start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-694-1010. That's 1-800-694-1010. Or go to selectquote.com to get your free quote today. 1-800-694-1010. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
AZ Preps 365, your source for all the news, info, highlights, and more. Athlete news and interviews. Talk with coaches. Keep you up to date with the changes, moves, upcoming events, and more. AZ Preps 365, Arizona's ultimate prep sports show. If you miss a minute, you miss a lot. AZ Preps 365, Saturday mornings 8 till 10 on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And always on at 1580thefanatic.com.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to Bundle Deal Days at AutoZone. Well, I do need a bundle of things. When you bundle, you save. Do I save if I bundle oil with an oil filter? Save up to $12 on that bundle. What about brake pads and rotors? Bundle those and the brake pads are free. Can't save more than free. You can save on hundreds of deals during Bundle Deal Days. Ends June 2nd at AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply. Duralast brake pads only.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why. It's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT STEP to 53342. T&Cs apply. Available in app only.
1580, The Fanatic.
Blender here on 1580, The Fanatic, and this ought to give you a little bit of happiness if you're an ASU fan. The recruiting class for 2026, number 1 recruiting class in the Big 12, number 9 recruiting class in the entire country, according to the ESPN, number 12 recruiting class in the country, according to 247 Sports,
Wow.
24/7 Sports.
Bells, yes.
Who's number 1?
So nobody cares what you think.
You didn't want to say that USC was number 1. Okay, I got it.
Thundar Samarbarian says, so this is no way to win weekend for you, Jeffrey, huh? Yankees versus the Dodgers. Yep, that's true. Like I said, though, I'd rather the Yankees lose probably than the Dodgers. But I'm not rooting for anybody or anything.
No Mookie Betts tonight, though. He stubbed his toe.
What?
Oh, you got to love that for baseball, right? The guy
what?
stubbed his toe, so he can't play today.
I feel like baseball is the kind of sport where, you could probably be all right. You could probably get over it on a stubbing of a toe, right?
Just makes baseball look bad.
Well,
Well,
so
for the playoffs, I'm sure he'd be playing, but
He stubbed it. You know? Got to hang now. Can't play today.
I think he's just really sad because Loretta Swit died.
Yeah, I can see
what
that.
it is.
That's
Yeah,
the
that
impact
could be
with
it
the
right
best.
there.
Yeah.
He's overcome with grief right
He's
now.
a big mash guy. Yeah.
Yeah, Hot Lips is no longer with us.
So, are you, I didn't think you knew MASH.
He actually does.
Can I tell you that I only know the entrance? Like, I don't think I've actually watched an entire episode, but my goodness, leading into like the midnight slate of UPN 45's 1999 programming was.
So he'd hear the song, and he'd hear just enough of it before he ran over and changed the
Exactly.
channel.
That was right in between Blueberry Eggos.
Phil, you are missing out. That is a very clever show, cleverly written and funny show.
Does it hold up, do you think?
Yeah, it's actually it probably stands up. But here's the thing that bugged me, and I knew this when I was watching it in the 70s when I was a little kid. I'm like, people didn't have shaggy hair in the 50s. What's with the like everybody was dressed up like they're in the Korean War, but everybody's hair looked like, the 70s. That really bugged me. Everybody should have gotten their hair cut. Hawkeye walking around with that mop top. Nobody in the 50s had hair like that. Nobody. Just that's the thing that always bothered me. Outside of that show was really good. Bruno Baller says, when you combine comedy, drama, and action, MASH is probably the best sitcom ever.
And action?
Yeah, there was action.
There was
some action. Not always.
Yeah.
It's a great sitcom.
Yeah.
Firefarter says, Hot Lips Houlihan. She was definitely in my spank bank back in the late 70s.
Wait, what?
She was never in no. I never thought
she was that hot. I mean, she was okay.
Oh, can I tell you who I just what's the deal with everybody being all over this Sydney Sweeney person?
Oh, you finally yes.
Why?
Okay.
I'm sorry. I saw her on the White Lotus and she just looked like a pug-faced kid.
Wasn't she a child actor?
I don't know. I think somebody was saying that she used to spar with Ronda Rousey, and I'm like, must have got her in the face.
Oh,
but so everybody's all like, oh, Sydney Sweeney. And I'm like, I just don't see it. I'm not trying to say that because I'm married and I think my wife might be listening. I honestly don't get it. In fact, Dr. Squatch is doing something with Sydney Sweeney. They've taken some limited edition soap infused with her bathwater.
Yeah, Merry Christmas.
Oh my god,
that is
it's called Sydney's Bathwater Bliss. Smells like
disgusting.
pine because I guess she smells like a Douglas fir and earthy moss. And they say, no, we're calling this morning wood, huh? But she's like, she took a bath and they took the water and they infused that water into the soap. I just don't get why people are crazy about this person.
Now,
you know what I'm saying?
I don't need a Christmas bonus, but you do know what is on my Christmas list, gentlemen. Now, if
you want this soap,
oh my god, no, not actually, but I do understand. Like, Jeffrey,
you think she's hot,
Jeffrey? Jeffrey, you're looking at the wrong area of
Her
advertising.
personality is enough to undo anything else.
No, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you're looking at the wrong. About 5 inches down from where you're looking
So
at.
she has two good qualities, and that's it.
And they're not even hers.
Oh,
Oh,
great.
no,
they're
they're-
add-ons.
No,
They look like add-ons to me.
They're
They are-
aftermarket.
No, trust me.
A
Those
lot of her
things-
looks like an add-on.
No, those things are original model, Ralph.
I don't know. Oh,
My goodness. No, here's the thing is that Jeffrey, she just has tremendous upper body strength. And because of that, her talent is going to take her very far. She has, the bathwater thing, it's a little bit much. Like, but in a world where people will pay for used Kleenexes, I think that this is actually rather tame.
An $8 bar of soap that has essence of her bathwater. I feel like they should be shut down.
Wow.
They should shut down this company because that don't sound sanitary.
no.
Beer Bob says Sydney Sweeney is a good-looking young millennial or whatever generation she is. She's curvy, that's her appeal right there. LA Kid says Sydney Sweeney, those are real. Trust me, I know. No, you don't.
How
No,
do you
you
know?
don't.
Share those photos.
Baker's Cocky Hen says, just looked her up. If you haven't seen the pics I'm seeing, I don't see what you don't get. Sex sells. Ask Robert Kraft. Moist One says,
wow. Jeez.
You know what Moist One says. Thunder
Wow.
the Sand Barbarian says, you didn't pre-read the bank text, huh? Spank Bank? No, that's not something you can't say. Wilbur says, you were talking about the 2026 recruiting class, huh? We haven't even played 2025. Shut up, Wilbur. Nobody cares what you think. Heavy Metal Maniac says,
Wow. He just can't see that far ahead. That's all.
what if Mookie ripped his toenail off by mistake?
That's different.
Well, either way, it's an accident.
He ripped his toenail off or he stubbed his toe? What's the
Well, he
what's the
stubbed
deal
his-
here?
The official thing was stubbed his toe.
Okay. That's
We've all
guy.
stubbed our toes. I mean,
That's a tough guy, right?
we all get out of the shower and we stub our toe and we yell and scream, but we're usually back up in about 10 minutes.
See, for me,
Yeah.
it's getting into bed. That
10 minutes.
that sucker just always moves.
I have stubbed my toe hardcore on some furniture we have here that is surprisingly heavy and unmovable. And I've never been on the ground for 10 minutes.
Not 10 minutes, no, but just for like,
Well, I mean, you got to
become
curse
German
for
for
a
a
little bit,
second.
then it kind of hurt, and then about 10 minutes later, you're like, all right, I can walk again.
Hmm.
I've been there. Okay, Randy, you haven't been there?
I've stubbed my toe and it doesn't take me 10 minutes to recover. I don't.
I guess
you
my
just-
recovery rate is just longer than you guys. That's all I can
Ralph
say.
is just sitting there crying, waiting for his wife to go, fine, I'll come over.
That is true. That's not a lie.
Mr. Wilbur says, I'll go on a limb. Mookie Betts will win the baseball comeback player of the year from this.
Wow.
From the stub toe. Yeah, makes sense.
Wow.
Swozman says, hey, Ralph, I just took LA tonight. Shohei for a home run, Aaron Judge for a home run, plus 1,300.
It's not bad.
Plus 1,300 is pretty good, yeah.
Beer Bob says, listen, for old guys like Ralph, yeah, it takes 10 minutes for them to get up.
Hey,
I'm
watch
sure
it.
it takes longer for him to get it up.
Watch it.
But once there,
Well, I'm sure it's very
I can
impressive.
travel to New York with that thing, but all right.
Mm. Wow.
You have just Make-A-Wish Kid written all over you. That's why you get to sit up front with a little thing around your neck, unattended flyer. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time now for On This Date in Big George's sports history. Back in the year 1932, after dropping a doubleheader, some Chicago White Sox players accused home plate umpire George Moriarty of deliberately blowing calls against them. The umpire, former White Sox player himself, challenged his accusers to a fight under the stands.
Wow.
Chicago pitcher Milt Gaston took him on first, but Moriarty knocked him out cold with one punch, breaking his hand.
Last
Yeah,
time
I
I
mean-
had a wrestling match under the bleachers, it didn't end in a punch.
This isn't over yet, Phil. I'm just going to ignore that.
How
So
can you?
he knocks out the first guy, but he breaks
Uh-huh.
his hand when doing it. So then manager Lou Francesca and catchers Charlie Berry and Frank Grube, they three guys jumped them and beat the hell out of him. So that was unfair. That was some dirty fighting
Yeah.
by
I
the
bet it
Chicago
was.
White Sox.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
So the next day, the president of the league fined a bunch of people, 10-day suspension for Milt Gaston, but the umpire, he got no punishment at all. Even though he's the one who said, hey, I'll meet you under the bleachers. Like he kind of started it, right?
Yep.
But they gave him no punishment. So that's pretty manly there. You knock out the first guy with one punch. You hit him so hard, you broke not just his face, but your hand.
Your hand. Yeah.
And then it took 3 guys to beat your ass down.
Right?
Yeah, I feel like there should be an escalation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Next time, I think the umpire squad should take on those 3 guys.
It's going to get hot and heavy under those bleachers.
No, Phil.
No, Phil, it's not like what happened with you.
Different
Phil.
Tongue punching somebody.
Yeah.
Moist One says, took 3 guys to beat him off. I could take 4. Slave Dave says, it's like Louis the 13th cognac. Has a couple of drops of the good stuff, but charge a small fortune. The bottle is fine crystal, though. The hell are you talking about, Dave?
That stuff is amazing, by the way.
Wow.
He's just texting somebody else about some liquor. And that's the end of the show. Guys, we'll see you on Monday. Weekend Warriors tomorrow, 10 a.m. You know, it's on. It's the Daily Blender.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not